can stop a god.
Hello everybody, and welcome. This is episode 1 of Vecna, Eve of Ruin, here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeon Master, Kelly. I use he and him as my pronouns, and I am very excited to be here today because we are starting a new campaign! This is the official first game of Vecna, Eve of Ruin, and I have some amazing players with me for it. Let's go ahead and meet them and who they're playing now, starting with Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Rosie Thistledrop, our gnome artillerist artificer.
Beautiful. Also with us is Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'm excited to introduce Lir'wen, our moon elf moon elf monk, way of the astral self, or way of the astral self moon elf. Yeah.
It's a long one.
We'll figure out how. It's a mouthful, and you're gonna get a fistful of my arms.
Speaking of someone else, you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway. Speaking of someone else who's a mouthful, hi Chris.
Oh, hello. I'm Chris. Happy to be here tonight. A little nervous, first game jitters, but yeah, this is going to be a fun time. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Gaunt, who also uses he, him, or they, them pronouns. And yeah, little revenge guy going after dark zombie thing. Happy to be here tonight.
Happy to have you here. I'm also very happy to have our last player, Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Imogen, our human fighter champion subclass. You know how it goes. Basic fighter. Good times.
Good
but
times.
I love her.
She is a hot mess, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
It's like your personal archetype right there, Jen, for all your characters. Hot mess.
I like my characters to have a character arc, and sometimes starting as a hot mess means they can have a good character arc.
This is absolutely true. But you know what my character arc was fulfilled by? Our partnership with Bookwyrm Games. That's right, Bookwyrm Games is your place where you can get, perfect ad segue, you can get a ton of dice, more than 170 different types, and soon, Dork Tales dice are going to be available on their site. They are a Canadian company running out of the Vancouver area that is just like, they're like your neighbors that sell dice. They're wonderful people, and you'd be wonderful if you went and supported them. They've been supporting us for about a year, and they give everybody who uses code DorkTales 15% off. That's DorkTales, all one word, for 15% off at bookwyrmgames.com. Bookwyrm with a Y, like a dragon. You can get so much stuff there, guys. Like you can get normal dice, you can get resin dice, you can get liquid core, you can get metal, stone, even wood dice. Like it's so impressive. They have next level customer service and are gonna take care of you. They also will give you free shipping. That's right, free shipping if you order 100 Canadian or more. That's like about 75 US right now. So super reasonable. Consider using them for all of your needs. They ship globally. They're a fantastic sponsor. Thank you for being with us, Bookwyrm Games. Also, a quick reminder that we are approaching one of our goals on the Patreon. We're only 20 patrons away from Christine running a Regency-era D&D game. So if you'd like to see an unexpected invitation, a Regency-era Dungeons & Dragons adventure where I get to play a Mr. Darcy the Orc, you can head over to our Patreon at any tier level. If we have 175 patrons at a time, we will run that game. We'll start production on it. Besides that, we did a bunch of pre-builds. So if this is your first time here, we have a session 0 that is up on YouTube. That is has a ton of views right now, so thank you. And we are putting it to, there were some documents that we used in that game session to kind of build our backstory that I'm calling the Heroic Histories. It is a series of generative tables that are going to be able to be used to make backstories for characters. I am probably about like 2/3 of the way done with it, or at least the basics. It is going to be released hopefully sometime early next week to our $10 patrons, and then we'll be going live on Dungeon Masters Guild as soon as I format it and pretty it up. So that will be coming soon there. I know a lot of people are very excited about it, and I have made it many times more complicated than the session 0. So I think you're gonna like it. It's way fun now. It's way more innovative. I think you're really gonna like it. But besides that, are there any questions?
Kind of feels like a choose your own adventure. Like you roll for your own adventure, literally. It's great.
It is. It's pretty cool. So if this is your first time here, I'll just give you a quick outline of the way things go. We're going to hop into game in just a second. Then we usually run for about an hour and a half before a bio break. Then we all go to the washroom, and then we come back and talk to you. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, save them for about the hour and a half mark, and we'll come back and chat with you for 5-10 minutes. And then we'll hop back into the second half of game. Tonight is going to be a lot of fun as we jump into this, and first session jitters are a thing. So if you are ever about to run your first game, or hell, your 20th game, don't forget it's okay to be a little nervous before you jump on stage. The important thing is jumping. And with that, does anybody have any final questions before we begin? Vecna, Eve of Ruin.
Yeah. Firearm proficiency. Does that mean I add my dex mod to my damage roll?
Yes, you do. Any final questions? Perfect.
You get a punch Vecna.
Eventually.
Nice.
If you beat his AC. All right, so without further ado, let's begin. Vecna, Eve of Ruin, here on Dork Tales. The multiverse. It encompasses everything that ever is, or ever was, or ever will be. And somewhere, beyond the glittering spires of elven cities, the shining science of humanity, and a billion other worlds, there exists a singular world, known as Toriel. It is here that our story begins, on a regular day like any other. For it is here that the story of how the multiverse was rescued from the brink of ruin manifests. There are a million billion other places that this could have begun. But our story begins in an alleyway. Down in the cobblestone streets of the city of Neverwinter. The city of skilled hands, the jewel of the north. It is bustling. Today, in the late afternoon, the sun is baking down onto the there, get my stumble out of the way. The sun is baking down at the cobblestone street. But here in the alley, the cool shadows cast by the awnings overhead keep it nice and cool. There is a puddle, a river of slime and spent water, and old stale beer that runs through the center of this alleyway. And lying face down on the cool, soaked stone is a woman. Her garb would imply that she is some type of soldier, or fighter, or veteran. Her weapons gleam and glow when brandished against her foes. But despite what she appears to be, the only thing that the woman in the alley can think about right now is how cool and comfortable the dirty ground of the alley is, and how ungodly hungover she is. Imogen, can you please describe yourself?
Absolutely. So, Imogen is a young woman, probably late 20s, early 30s, maybe into her 30s. She's wearing, technically it's classed as plate mail, but I like the scales, so we're saying it's fashioned scale mail.
That's great.
Mechanically it's plate though. But she's wearing scale mail and has like, she's trying to think of all the things I need to describe. She's, relatively normal height, 5'7", 5'8", or whatever, but her hair is shockingly white, except right kind of down at the roots. And she has her face is super pale, and she has circles under her eyes, and then these huge claw marks that are tinged black down her or across her face. She does have a weapon, and right now it's sheathed, so it's basically just the hilt.
And as you are lying on the ground of this alley, suddenly you are going to be roused by a splash of water directly onto your face. Just, oi, come on.
What?
Come on, gear up, gear up. A halfling woman looms over you, holding a bucket of water and a ladle. I can't have you sleeping out here. We've got deliveries today.
No. Oh, who turned on the sun?
Well, I think that was probably Lathander. But, look, I can't have you sleeping out here, Imogen. All right?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, the inn kicked me out last night. I couldn't pay my bill.
You should sell that fancy armor. Or maybe go get a job with the guard. They're always hiring mercenaries to head down to Arm. Guards to watch caravans and the like.
I mean, I pick up some of those jobs, but
Now, you considered,
it's time to go out again.
Yeah, I think it probably is. Look, I didn't want to start any problems with you, but I heard a story come through the grapevine. Muskrat's looking for you.
Oh.
Yeah, the blighter whose tooth you broke.
Yeah.
He's pretty pissed. You should keep yourself out of any alleys besides this one, eh?
That's fair enough. I mean, I'll just break more of his teeth, but he'll just get angrier.
Love, I don't think he's coming at you with fish next time.
Then maybe he'll do us all a favor and just kill me. That would be fine. Can I use a bucket and some water just to clean myself up a little bit?
Let me help you. And she's going to dump the bucket over your head.
Thanks.
It's got soap in it.
Yes, I smell springly fresh already.
Yeah, you smell a right bit better than you did a second ago, love.
I'm sure I do. Thank you.
Be sure to get under the pits and near the ice. Nothing worse than armor taint.
Yeah, I really need to stop sleeping in the armor.
Love, what you need is somewhere to take it off and leave it.
That sounds expensive.
Aye. Life's expensive, though.
It is.
Until it's not.
Life takes everything you got. I'll be on my way. Thank you for the wake-up call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care of yourself, all right?
You too.
Always do, if my name isn't Cecilia. It is Cecilia, by the way, in case you forgot.
Yes. I had. Sorry.
Yeah, all right. Be off with you.
And I'll clamber to my feet and just kind of stumble towards the front of the alleyway.
Can you make me a deck save as you are doing that?
Yes, I can. Find my character sheet first. Why is that? Close. Dexterity save.
Dexterity save.
That's a 15.
Perfect. You are going to step out of the alley. The sun is going to strike you right in the eye, blinding you for a moment. And as you step out, you are nearly run down by a bakery carriage. But are able to grab the side of the building and pull yourself back as it roars ahead in front of you. Hey, watch out! Stay out of the road, you lunatic! Fuck you!
Fuck you! Bastard.
And as you shout profanity across the street, you're going to look up. Can I get a perception roll off of you?
Yeah. That's a 16. I'm doing not too bad so far.
Across the road, you will see a pair of Neverwinter City guards. They look up at you, and one of them, a tall, strongly built woman, about your size actually, is going to glance down at a piece of parchment and nod before rolling it into a scroll again and sliding it into her belt. And she's going to start heading your direction.
Nope, time to go. I'm gonna start speed walking away.
Imogen! She's going to shout after you.
Just keep walking.
For God's sake. Of course I had to roll my first roll of the game, everybody.
Is it a 3? Or is it a 20?
No, you're going to hear the sound of as a set of bolos are pulled out of her belt and hurled at you, and they're going to fly right past your head and explode a lamppost next to it as this tinker clock that is like kind of dangling, it's like a steam clock up on this lamppost, is going to just and rain down sparks and gears all around you.
I am going to bolt.
Hey!
Start running.
Get back here! All right, let's go ahead and do chase rolls. Can you make me a let's see. This is, oh god, I can remember my chase rules. Chase rules. All right, so chase rules set up. So you are going to try to run. Go ahead and roll initiative. There we go. That's better. That's a 15 for me.
Oh god. That is a 4.
A 4. Okay, so 15 goes first. She's gonna bolt after you, and as she starts running across the street toward you, you are going to need to do me a favor. I need you to make me. That is going to be. Make me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Constitution check, actually.
Okay, check.
Check, please.
That's a nat 1.
Oh god, I can't do anything about that. All right, so you are going to run. How do you nat 1 this? Do you just like
I think what she's doing is she's not thinking, she's just running. So everything is just in her way, and she has no she's hungover, possibly also still drunk. Yes, both at the same time. And she just is running into things and like stumbling over things and basically just falls on the ground like a drunkard.
All right, so one of the things you're going to do is they are installing new windows at the hotel across the street. You are the one you were thrown out of. You are going to run straight through a pane of glass.
Yep.
And then are going to stumble a bit. You got little nicks and cuts all over your face. And as you veer down a side corridor, you're going to see that there are crates of chickens everywhere. Can you make me an athletics roll?
I can.
There's that 3.
That is a 20. Dirty 20.
A 20. You are going to not be able to stop in time to... you're not going to be able to stop in time to not go through these. You can either jump them, or you can plow through the chickens.
I plow through them.
All right, like a freight train, you are going to explode these chicken crates. Chickens are going to be like... and flying everywhere. Behind you, you're going to hear, oh, for God's sake, not chickens, as the woman chases you. She's gaining on you, though. You are starting to feel kind of winded, and more so, you are doing cardio the night after heavy drinking.
It's really true.
All
I
right,
know this guard's name by chance?
You... roll me a d20.
That's an 18.
An 18? This is Lieutenant Mars.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm running through the chickens. Now there's now you know there's nicks and cuts all over me which are bleeding slightly, and so feathers are sticking to the blood. So I'm basically being feathered. Yeah.
And then as you're running down the street, you're going to hear, fresh lemonade, get your lemonade. And suddenly there's going to be a squirt of lemon juice that's going to fall right on the cuts. Can you do me a favor and make me another Constitution check?
That's a 7.
That's a 5. So you two are running in you're running in plate mail. She is running in a breastplate, and you are just chasing. You ran about 4 city blocks at this point and are going to just like on the other side of the street, just looking at each other going, it's just,
hey Lieutenant Mars.
Imogen, I just want to talk.
What's the piece of paper for?
It's a letter for you.
Oh, not a wanted poster?
Not this time.
Why didn't you say so?
'Cause you ran. Why did you run?
'Cause I thought you had a wanted poster.
What? Why would you be wanted? Who wants you?
That's a good point. Apparently that letter does. Oh, I don't feel well.
Oh no. And we are going to smash cut to the sound of something splashing. And as we look at it, we're going to see that it is fresh eggs onto a flat top grill. We are inside of a tavern, a raucous one, not that far away. There's an open grill where a breakfast cook is doing all day breakfast here. A dwarf is going, you're gonna like my eggs. I do eggs better than anyone else in Neverwinter. You, what do you want in your omelette? He points at an elf standing across the bar, just kind of absorbing some of the ambiance of this chaotic tavern. It's one of those taverns that has the open second floor, and you can see that there are a pair of tabaxi, from the looks of it, who are preparing to leap off of the second floor balcony onto the chandeliers and swing across for fun. Probably teenagers. The fact that they're in the tavern is a disgrace. But as one of them does that, down beneath them, there is a slight elf in a blue wrap with blonde pigtails. Robin, would you please describe Lir'wen?
With pleasure. So Lir'wen is a very tall, slight, extremely muscular moon elf. So a high elf variety, but has slightly more gray, bluey undertones to the skin. Still looking fairly pale, but that has that slight kind of, like, her color filter has been shifted just a little bit, where it's like, is something weird or not? But yeah, long blonde hair. She is 5'10", I think I wrote. Yeah, I think 5'10" I said for her. And
tall.
she
Tall for an
has,
elf.
yeah,
Ooh.
pierced ears that she has showing outside of her, in front of her pigtails, that have various jewels and metals that have just pierced all along it. She has very bright blue eyes, and one of them has just ton of trinkets with her, a travel bag and a quarterstaff slinged along her back. And but her probably most notable features that make her kind of stick out from a crowd, excuse me, she is covered in tattoos. So you will see along her face, her arms that are showing, and like on her very sculpted abs that she has tattoos that are very kind of flowing, and it's line geometric, kind of a mix of like geometric and flowing line work that doesn't really have any image to it, but just kind of very symmetrical on both sides, but just kind of covers her. And she's just kind of,
I said, what do you want in your omelette? I've got all sorts of things here. I've got peppers. I've got onions. I've got 3 different types of onions, actually. I've got greens. I've got spinach. I've got artichoke. I've got bacon. I've got 3 different types of bacon.
onion.
Onion? Aye. Which type of onion? I've got red onion, I've got spring onion, and I've got some sweet onion, some Vidalia. I've also got chives, depending on what you consider a chive. What do you consider a chive, lass?
Depends on where you go.
Aye.
I am adventurous, so I want you to make me the omelet that you think suits me.
Well, you've got lots of tattoos, so let's put some jalapenos in there. All right. Besides that, let's see. Tattoos and elf. Are you a vegetarian? Or should I just intuit?
Intuit.
Fuck vegetarians. You're here for the bacon. All right. And some fennel sausage. Yeah, a little bit of that. And some goat cheese. And a sprig of parsley. All right, I'll make this up for you. And what for your friend? And as he says this, we pan over to, well, who was a traveling companion at one point, but now is just a retiree who invited you out, knowing that you were in town. Once upon a time, this was the squire of that high elf paladin that used to flirt around with you. Probably still would, if he was ever around anymore. But this was once his squire, now is a member of the city guard. In fact, almost retired at this point. This is a human man pushing 70 years old named Litholdus Hilris. Litholdus is about 70 years old. He's got his skin looks like a crinkled map. You can see that his eyes are beginning to go a little white, but once upon a time they were very, very blue. He keeps his hair still short and shaved. It's still blonde, even though he's in his 70s. And he keeps this kind of dangling little rat tail at the back, and has since he was 15, which is when you met him for the first time. He's just about 6 feet tall, and once upon a time was built exactly like a barrel. Now he is built like a melted candle. All of it going right down into the keg. All the muscle just flowed downhill. And as always, besides having a very ovular face, you can always sense when he's around, because even when he has not ridden a horse in days, he still smells like one. Once upon a time, he was a drinking buddy. Now he is a trainer of young guardsmen. Well, guards people. And is still a pretty impulsive blighter. I'll have what she's having. All right, 2 of us for you.
So boring.
What? I like jalapenos. Anyway, thanks for meeting me here. Nobody ever really, nobody goes out to drink anymore, right? You know? Ever since I made, Sergeant at Arms, you know? They, the young bucks don't really want to spend time with me. But you spend enough time with me, they'll think that, you know, I got some hot young elf hanging out with me. Make me hot shit again. Your omelets.
Thank you.
Love. The dwarf leans across the counter. You can do better if you need money. What? All right, shut up, Hank. He grabs the plates, heads over to a table. You remember the last time we ate at this place?
No. I mean, I remember the start of the night, but the last of it was a bit fuzzy.
Well, it was 19, 20 years ago now. Oh, the Long and Marigold. Before it got rebranded as the Bloomin' Onion. What is a Bloomin' Onion, anyway?
I don't know, but it's lost its sense of gravitas when you have the two, you know, the blank and blank. There's something to it, you know?
So, yeah, I know. Do you even like jalapenos? Jalapenos? How do you pronounce the...
Japalanas.
I don't think that's it.
No?
Do you like spicy stuff? I thought elves didn't. I thought you all were boring.
Yeah, most elves don't like getting needles poked in their skin for hours, too.
Well, I think most people don't like that in the first place, but, you know, you get used to it.
You get used... It's how you find yourself. You go on self-reflections.
Yeah, or how your master and his wannabe girlfriend, or his would-be girlfriend, go and get you drunk on your 18th birthday and get a butterfly tramp stamp put on you. Do you know how hard that was to go through night school with that? Every time we took a communal shower, they'd whip me in the ass and say, "Fly away, little butterfly, fly away."
I'm sure you made friends. Or were popular.
I had a lot of offers to beat my wings. I don't fly that way, but I appreciate the offer. Anyway.
I feel like your wings have a little more oomph to them now.
I flap with the best of them.
It's true.
So,
was this just a social call? I mean, I was around, but...
No. Look, I was approached by one of the aides of Lord Neverwinter.
Oh?
And, he's looking for some capable people. And, his agent came and asked if I knew anybody. So I wanted to put you forward. He seemed real keen to have you specifically, actually, when we talked.
600 years of adventuring will do that.
It's a lifetime. Anyway,
Several.
here, and he'll hand you
Though
a
I didn't spend it
scroll.
all adventuring. There was the time that I just spent 100 years learning how to blow glass. Haven't done that in a while.
Never
should
met
get back
Glass.
to
Nice,
it.
nice guy.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anyway, you show this scroll at the front gate of his villa. It'll get you in. He wants to meet with you tonight. I'd say that I could escort you, but I'm gonna be honest. If I stay out past 7 o'clock, Marie gets mad.
How is
She'd
she?
work. She's good. She's good. The kids are wondering if you brought them anything. Well,
Oh,
sorry, the grandkids are wondering if you brought them anything. You ain't met them though, have you?
no, I would. Can I meet them in person before? We have time. We have all day.
You want to meet them?
Of course.
Oh, just tain't like you, really. Like, you never really seemed to care before. You getting soft in your old age?
Lir'wen's going to just very quickly just give him a little tap on the shoulder very quick.
I didn't say you were getting slow. I said you were getting sentimental. I think you popped something out of place or back in. At my age, I can't
Hopefully
really
back
tell.
in. And no, I'm not getting soft. I just want to meet people. Something new. Never met someone's grandkids before. And
Lir'wen, everybody's somebody's grandkid. You're someone's grandkid.
yeah, at one point.
Yeah, I get what you mean. You gonna eat that? Actually, you know what?
Yes.
Shouldn't. Here, you can have mine. I can't handle the jalapenos, jalapenos, whatever. Anymore. They give me heartburn now. All right, you eat up, and we'll go back. We'll get a.
Man, just every time I've dealt with humans growing old, they always complain about that. It sounds very unpleasant.
Yeah, it's like swallowing a coal that keeps trying to crawl back up your throat.
Ugh. I hope I never get that.
Well, time's on your side. He smiles, and we focus over on above the bar, where there's a ticking clock. And then the hands stop. We're once again outside on the streets of Neverwinter. A human man with a chin-strap beard that's beginning to go from red to gray is gonna look up at this broken clock outside of a tavern, and it's gonna say, "Well, it needs to get fixed. I can't get up there. My son borrowed my ladder. You say you can get up there? Can you fix that? It's one of them old steam clocks. Your folk are the ones who designed them. I'm pretty sure. Not to imply anything, Missy." He turns and looks very far down at the creature standing next to him. Please describe Rosie for me, Christine.
All right, so Rosie is a gnome. Specifically, what type is she? She's a rock gnome. She is only about 3 feet tall. And she has hot pink hair and very tiny hot pink hair, big ass scar on her cheek, one screwed up eye, but she seems to be able to see out of it just fine, and lots of tools and bits and bobs hanging off of various belts and harnesses on her, and goggles on her head, and she always has some soot smeared somewhere.
So you think you can fix this? It got messed. I'm not English. It got messed up earlier. One of the guards broke it, from what I understand.
Well, I mean, yeah, it should be easy.
I mean, all right. If you think you can do it, do you need a hand getting up there?
I should be good.
All right. Well, I've got 12 silver if you can fix it from the city.
All right.
From the Public Works Department, if my name isn't Cadbro.
I hope your name's Cabro.
Hmm? My brother's name's Cadbury, and I'm Cadbro.
Your parents were very practical.
Well, better
She's
than
just gonna
being
start climbing the building at this point.
better than being named what they named my sister,
I don't want to know.
Frank. So climbing up there. Can you go ahead and give me an athletics roll?
God damn it, you're doing athletics for this and not.
Yeah, you use athletics to climb.
Haha! I rolled a 17, so that is
All
a
right.
16.
All right, so your tiny body's going to go eegy, 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 and koala your way up this slick steel and brass pole. Up at the top of it, you can see that, in fact, it looks like a pair of iron balls smashed into this and have wrapped around it. Gummed up the gears, but good. Not only did they smash the glass and some of the internal mechanisms, it looks like some of the very, very tough cable that was used in this bolo has ground itself or wrapped itself into the gears themselves, and you're going to hear this horrible as the steam clock tries to grind through it, but can't. It's like a dog trying to chew its own leash off. It's just not managing.
Well, that's not good. She's gonna pull out a leather strap that she's gonna use to help like secure herself in place. She's basically gonna wrap it around the pole in such a way that she can kind of sit on it.
Okay.
Almost, so the tension of pushing back against it will keep her there. And she's gonna pull out her smith's tools and start getting in there.
Okay. Go ahead and make me
Want me to
a.
tinker tools?
I want you to make me a tinker tool roll.
What do I roll for that?
So what you're going to roll is dexterity plus proficiency.
Okay. That is going to be. I add my dex mod, correct?
Yes, you do.
Cool. Addition. I hate addition. Is going to leave. Dot. That is 25.
25. Damn. You guys are level 10. There is going to be a little bit of grinding of your gears. You know what really grinds your gears? A bolo. But whipping out a pair of wire cutters,
Isn't where it's supposed to be, wrapped around some criminal.
It's true. Reaching into your pocket, you're going to be able to pull out a pair of wire cutters, and after leveraging back and forth and wriggling, you are going to snap the wire, and it's going to tumble to the ground. The little area has been cordoned off beneath this, so it doesn't fall on any passersby, of course. And you are going to be able to start working on the gears. It's going to take you about an hour of work to get it fixed up, and you don't have the glass to replace, so it is going to be kind of just exposed to the weather until someone with like a glass maker comes out here and refits it. But after about an hour of work, you're going to have this clock up and running again with a mighty from the steam whistle on top of it. You're going to have the clock up and running again.
Excellent. Rosie's going to take a notebook out and, with her fingernail, start drawing a little schematic and writing some notes on what she's observed of this clock, because it's interesting.
Can you make me a an investigation roll? Or perception, whichever you prefer, actually.
Yeah, I'll do investigation. That's 19.
You're going to see on the inside of the clock, it actually has a maker's mark on the inside of it. It is a very stylized, fashioned E.
Do I recognize the maker's mark?
Go ahead and make me a history roll. I will say that you can actually add your tinker. You can double your proficiency for this roll.
Okay, so that is going to be 30.
30? This is really strange because this clock design, you have seen it a number of places, but you have not seen it on this plane. You have seen this maker's mark on Aorth. You have seen this maker's mark, you had a brief sojourn there, a number of times during your time at Magic School. But primarily, you know that apparently this specific design was made by a backwoods artificer known as Edagon the Wise, or just Edagon for the Maker's Mark books.
Huh. Odd. That's the fellow who was like had all the books on slime pudding in the library.
Yeah, he has written quite a few books on slime pudding.
Huh, didn't know he did clocks too.
He does all sorts of weird things. With that roll, with a 30, you would know that he has also written several books on erotic poetry. He has written several books on knock-knock jokes. He has written several books about... he has one... he has a cookbook designed for artificers that allows you to, like, it's basically a slow cooking or easy recipe book for artificers who are too busy to cook. That honestly is his most popular tome. He has his own spells that he's created, and that's what people remember. Edagon's 30-minute recipes.
I mean, they're good.
They're pretty good. I mean, they're really fattening. Like, it's basically like put a can of beans in with, like, a brick of cheese and let them melt.
Don't forget the bacon, though.
What do you think? Yeah, fair. All right. So, as you finish that up, you're going to study this for a minute, take some sketches. Are you going to just, like, slide back down the pole, or what do you do?
Hell yes.
Okay. So sliding back down the pole to the base, you're expecting Cadbro to be there, but instead there is a tall woman standing there, dressed in guard armor. Hey there. You, Rosie Thistledrop.
That's correct.
Nice work up there.
Thanks.
You're, a fixer by trade, or... I heard rumor that you're an adventurer?
Grad student? Does that count?
I have something for you. And she will hand you a scroll. It is a quick piece of paper that says, "Greetings. I am Lord Neverwinter. I require your services. Should you be interested in taking this job, please come to my villa tonight at 7th hour. Show this to the guards at the gate for entry. Drinks included."
Alright, sold.
You're not going to try to run or escape me or anything like that? You're going to notice with your passive perception that there are several, like, feathers stuck to her armor in awkward places.
Did I do something wrong?
You know, that doesn't necessarily stop people around here.
Well, I mean, it would be a reason for running away. So unless I have,
No,
I'm
you're
not
good.
gonna bother.
You're good to go.
Sweet. That's awesome, because I never quite know all the rules in a town, because they change so often across the plains.
Across the what?
Well, you know the other realms of existence? Like, we can travel them. I did I did a field school over in, like, the Abyssal Realm. It's cool.
I don't need to hear anything about the Nine Hells, lady. I'm just a guard lieutenant. Like, it's above my pay grade.
There's more than just those, though. But, like, that's what...
How many more do they need?
Planes
There's already,
are.
like, 9 of them.
Well, yes, but that's the hells, but there's other things, too, that aren't hell. Like, basically,
Alright.
planes of existence are like sheets of paper all laid on top of each other, and we're one big book. We're on with this page.
Great, so everything's paperwork.
Pretty much.
Well,
That's one thing I
speaking
found is true everywhere. Everywhere has paperwork. I try and avoid it as much as I can, but academia, you know. Professors all feel like the grad student's the one who has to do that.
so much
I just try and
for-
blow it up as often as I can so they don't send it to me anymore.
What?
Well, if it catches on fire, it doesn't happen. But if I play it off as an accident enough times, then they just don't send it to me, because then they have to create the paperwork and send it again, and it costs money. So they get tired of sending it, and then they send it to some other grad student or a TA.
Look, just I don't understand half of the words you're saying. Try not to blow anything up in Neverwinter.
I mean, as long as nobody...
No buts. No, just don't blow anything up here.
Well, if
Are
somebody
you
breaks
carrying
the
like
bottle,
black powder on you right now?
I'm an artificer.
I don't know what that is.
I make things, and half of them go boom.
Why does Lord Neverember want... Okay. Look, try not to
Well,
blow
lots
anything
of
up in-
lords end up liking like people like me because we go and destroy monsters that are bothering them. A big
Okay.
enough boom will take out even a dragon.
Oh God, please let there not be a dragon. Right. Well, there you
Can you where I
go.
can get some coffee? That would be a good spot. I haven't been around here before. I'm generally like over that quarter.
You talk a lot. Look, over on the corner, there's a coffee place right there.
I haven't heard that before. Over there. Okay, sweet. Thanks.
Well, people are lying to you. Have a nice day. Grab some... Oh, and here, Public Works money. She'll toss you 12 silvers.
Sweet. Coffee money.
That's a lot of freaking coffee. All right, have a nice day. Be well, citizen. Or guest. And
Citizens pay taxes.
as you turn and enjoy your tax evasion, we are going to focus on the steam rising out of some of the cups of coffee in the corner cafe. And as we do, we transition across the city. There's a low mist hanging here. It's a small park. At least it feels that way. It's a bit of green space, located in the corner of Neverdeath Graveyard. A sprawling graveyard. It is immense. It takes up a huge portion of Neverwinter proper. It is divided, like the rest of the city, into the haves and the have-nots. Towering mausoleums line one side, while the crypts and simple grave markers of the poor are easily sectioned off. Now, while there are a number of mourners, paid and authentic, over in the rich portion, we follow the mist that hangs at the lowest portion of the graveyard. Down here, it is muddy. The ground is silt, prone to a little bit of flooding when it rains. And on the ground, is a grave marker, lined with ivy and moss from years of neglect. There is a man standing next to the grave marker. What is Gaunt doing, and what does he look like, Chris?
Gaunt, when he appears in his natural form, looks very much like a zombie. He typically has an imposing and intimidating air around him, adorned with like his half skull mask, and wears his cloak up to try and hide most of his features. His cloak is tattered, and his armor is adorned with ancient and rusting bits and pieces attached to it. He looks out of place, and as he's looking at this grave, he silently just starts to try and clean it, remove the vines from it, make it more accessible, and
Sounds good.
try and take care of it a little bit without taking care not to damage it.
Okay. There's no check for that. You don't need to make a roll of any type. The grave is for a human, best you could tell. A human or a very unfortunate elf or longer-lived person. The name on it is Emma Crew, with 2 E's. She died age 32. The epitaph on the side of the tombstone reads, "She gave pleasure, and by pleasure she was laid low." And beneath it is a carved symbol of a lily. "Did you know her?" You hear a thick but feminine voice behind you.
No.
Oh. She worked at the Blistering Lily, the brothel down the way. Nice lady, all things told.
I'm not very familiar with how you date things here, but how long ago since she passed?
About 5 years. She was nice. It's funny you chose that one to clean. She was the one that came and tried to take care of a lot of the others around here, her sisters and brothers. Well, I mean, not like real sisters and brothers, but like in the industry. A lot of workers and thieves and even some bartenders tend to get dropped off places like this. Nobody really
Did
takes
you know
care
her?
of them. Briefly. I've worked here for about 8 years now. Sorry. My hands are dirty or else I'd shake you. I'm Liv Jotten. I'm a gravedigger around here. And as you look up, you'll see that the person you're talking to is about 6'1", 6'2". It's a dragonborn with blue scales and deep chocolate brown eyes. She's dressed, she's fairly broadly built, and is dressed in just simple worker's clothes. And as she's kind of like moving constantly while she talks, she's kind of grinding the tip of a spade into the ground. So, yeah, you're not from around here?
No.
Oh, where are you from? Luxon? Or Luskin? Up north? You look like someone who might have been from the spine of the world. You from the 10 Towns?
I'm
Sorry,
somewhere,
you just kind of have an accent, so I was wondering.
somewhere much, much further away.
Oh, well, welcome to Neverwinter. It's a nice place. Sorry, if you weren't, if you didn't know her, why were you, cleaning her up?
Maybe the dead deserve a little bit more peace and to be remembered.
Yeah, I guess so. She was nice. I remember that. And she smiled a lot, even though she had crooked teeth. She was never afraid to give a smile. Are you looking for money?
No.
Because if you are, I'm not talking about a handout. I can always use a couple of extra strong backs.
I'll give you a hand while I'm here, but nature of my business is a little bit more transitory.
That's a fancy way of saying you ain't gonna be around here long, isn't it?
Who knows? Are any of us around for too long?
Well, that's morbid. Okay. Well, I suppose not. Well, luckily the rich die as easily as the poor, so, I need a little bit of help over here. Either digging a grave or cleaning up around the mausoleums.
How old does this dragonborn
Middle-aged?
person look?
Yeah.
Middle-aged?
Yeah.
I'll help with the digging.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? What's your passive perception?
15.
15? So she takes you over to the fancy portion of the graveyard. And as she does, she directs you to where a grave is supposed to be dug for a local wealthy merchant who's passed away a little while ago. She doesn't have anything polite to say about him. He was a merchant that liked to stiff people, really rake them over the coals over deals, and she is definitely not a fan. But as she continues doing a little bit of bad-mouthing of the dead, you are going to notice over by one of the mausoleums that there is a pair of glasses on the ground. Broken. Gold-rimmed, or at least gold-colored, fine wire glasses.
I'll move over there and pick them up and just look at them. Hold them in one hand and...
Well, they're small golden spectacles, about as wide around as a large gold coin. And you can see that they were bent and scraped. Can you make me an investigation roll?
Certainly. Investigation, you say?
Yes, please.
18.
18. Looking around, you're going to see at one of the nearby mausoleums. It looks like someone probably, I don't know, tripped. You can see a place where there's a scrape down the side of the mausoleum, about 2 feet from where these glasses were. And the way that the glasses are bent imply an impact, like someone fell face first into them. You'll also see there's a little bit of blood around there, like some of the rough, porous stone of the mausoleum scraped. But just where the glasses struck. It's kind of strange. You'd expect another scrape somewhere else if someone was falling, as if they'd try to catch themselves with their hands.
I'll go in and take a closer look.
Okay. As you head up to the door of the mausoleum, you're going to hear a voice behind you. Oh, there. A guard is going to be standing behind you. He's short, about 4'8", dwarven, broad chest, big Brillo beard, shaved bald top of his head aside from a mohawk that runs all the way down the back. This you? He turns a piece of paper that has a sketch of your outfit more than anything. I'm looking for somebody named Gaunt. I was told that he'd be here, kind of dressed like you.
What can I do for you?
I got a summons from Lord Neverwinter for you. You're an adventurer. There's adventure in afoot.
When does he want to meet?
Well, it's about 5 o'clock now. You'd probably start walking soon.
You're a guard.
Yeah.
You keep the peace here?
In the graveyard? Thankfully, it keeps itself for the most part, aside from the occasional zombie that rises up. Zombies ain't funny. A friend of mine got bit by a zombie. Ruined his life.
What do you make of this? I'll point out the glasses and the stain.
I mean, he leans over and takes a look. Look, a lot of people come through here. They get drunk. A lot of people like to use graveyards as romantic destinations. He probably just got into a little bit of rough horseplay. Or somebody brought him here to kill him. Or feed him to a zombie. That happens sometimes too. I mean, not on my watch. But, you know, sometimes.
Should you not take a look? As the law enforcement in this area? Or is keeping the peace in the graveyard not as important to you?
I'll take a look at it. But, right now I'm just playing messenger boy. So, here you go. Take it. It'll get you in, Gaunt. And, I'll snoop around here. It'll make you feel better.
I take the paper, just kind of put it into a pouch, don't even look at it, and start heading towards Lord Neverwinter's place to visit him.
All right. Time passes. And eventually, you all make your way to Lord Neverwinter's. It's a fashionable, but fairly humble villa, despite what it could be. And as you make your way there, as night is beginning to fall around you, you all are going to be let into a main chamber to wait. There's a little bit of music kind of playing in the background. A single harpist doing a little bit of work. Actually, it's going to be a dulcimerist, because I like dulcimer music in the background better. And as they're playing, you are all let into this main area to wait for a few minutes. One of the guards that's standing by there is going to turn and look at you and say, "Oh, can I get you anything to drink, love?"
Yeah, I'll ale of some kind would be great.
Yeah, we got ale and wine for you, and some cheeses.
I'll just have the ale, thanks.
Anybody else want a liquid dinner?
Wine.
Of course. He grabs you each a goblet of red.
Do I recognize Imogen?
Yes.
She like the scars are new, and her hair wasn't white, but she did wear it in this style before.
Yeah. I think you'll just see Lir'wen's gonna have a glass of wine and take a sip and like notice Imogen and not say anything, but you're just gonna see like just squinty eyes trying to figure out if she knows you.
This elf staring at you.
What you looking at?
No. Sorry, you look like a Imogen Stillstream.
How do you know that name?
We traveled briefly 100-something years ago. You're human, are you not? That's not possible.
Yeah, I should be dead. I know.
Anybody who is not Lir'wen or Imogen can make me a history roll as you are kind of just hanging out, looking at paintings. There's paintings of like previous Dukes of Neverember. There is, there's all manner of things here that are collecting your attention. Rosie, for one, there's another Edda clock.
Yeah, no dice on
24
that.
on history.
24. You know Imogen, was it Stillwater?
Stillstream.
Stillstream. Yeah.
Stillstream, yeah, no, a number of pretty legendary exploits down underneath the city of, what was it, Baldur's Gate, that had the dinosaur outbreak.
See, I was gonna go with Night Hag Coven if I had to like.
Oh, the Night Hag Coven. Yeah, that's even better.
Mhm.
That's even more wild. But yeah, no, I mean, but she was a human. She's obviously dead. This can't be her, right? Right?
Magic.
It's true. But you're in the presence of greatness.
Lir'wen, were we...
Lir'wen.
You were with that cleric for a bit. We traveled.
I don't know what you're talking about. Her demeanor has completely changed. She knows what you're talking about.
The door to the main chamber is going to open. And one of the guards will say, "Lord will see you now."
Thank you. She's going to carry her drink and walk right in. Void this conversation entirely.
Sorry.
Rosie's gonna bounce up to your side when that happens. The moment you're away from the kind of aloof elf. And he's gonna wait. Are you actually Imogen Stillstream? Not just like a daughter or like a granddaughter or like a great granddaughter?
My name is Imogen.
That's not a yes or no, so I'm going to take it as a yes. Can I get your autograph? You're in the history books. It's real cool. And nobody's going to believe me I actually met you if I don't get an autograph.
I believe most.
Buy me some ale later and maybe.
All right, get you drunk. Cool. Noted.
That's the way to my heart.
Cool.
Do you all head
Explosions
into
are the way to my heart.
inside of the audience chamber, on the other side of the wall, you are going to see that there is, it's basically a large reception area slash office, where there are a number of advisors sitting around this audience chamber, conversing with Lord Neverwinter, who looks very much kind of like, to do a quick one, he looks like a hook-nosed Sean Bean, but with a big, brilly, red-brown beard.
So he's gonna die.
Yeah, he hasn't yet.
He has a face that looks like he's gonna die.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
He is sitting behind his desk talking to his advisors. Look, I need things doubled. I want double patrols around the south side because... He breaks the conversation off and smiles at you. Greetings, my heroic friends. I'm so glad you came. I dare say, terrible events are afoot. Specifically, 4 prominent citizens have been kidnapped in the past several days. I was told that you are particularly skilled. Is this true? And can I count you in for their rescue? He'll smile at you, expecting a positive response. Around the room you can see that there are several guards keeping duty, as well as a couple of advisors and 3 priests of Ogma, the god of inspiration. Well, a god of inspiration.
Are you sure they were kidnapped and didn't just get tired of the city's bullshit?
Well, there's a chance of that. What I know is that they were kidnapped at night. They don't know each other. There are 4 kidnap victims. Eldon Keyword, a scholar of sorts, a knowledgeable one who specializes in the Outer Planes. Then, Indrina Lamonsnettle, an actor. One, a very popular one, though. Not a typical mummer. One who travels around in highbrow circles. Then there's Sarcelle Malinosh, a sorcerer who deals with the Outer Planes. And then Umberto Noblin, a gnome historian who is known for writing books on various deities. Rosie, you've actually had to read one of his books in the past for class.
Is he like actually good or kind of pretentious crackpot type?
He's enjoyable, but he's a crackpot. If I had to describe him, I would say, think like, he's definitely kind of like a snooty version of like Noam Chomsky.
She's gonna look up at Imogen and just kind of go at the name of that historian.
Did any of them wear spectacles?
Yes, I think so. I think a couple of them. I know Umberto did.
Like
Does.
these? And I'll bring out the ones from the graveyard.
I don't recognize them personally. But you said you were in the graveyard.
Yes.
Well, a couple of, well, the 3 priests of Ogma are going to nod sagely. Oh, yes, quite. Yes, quite. He's going to look back at them and say, well, then it's good that my money's been spent wisely. I funded divinations from the House of Knowledge, he gestures to the priests, hoping to find them. My priests have reported that the mystical trail ends at a specific place, Halleck's mausoleum in the Neverdeath graveyard. It seems that you found a clue before you knew you needed to find one.
So you've paid them. Are you gonna pay us to look?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, excellent.
Neverwinter needs heroes.
Sweet funding. Just
So-
this quiet voice from beside Imogen pipes up.
Such a strange thing, fate.
Unfortunately, the mausoleum is where their investigation stopped. Something is blocking the divination magic from going further, which is why I didn't want to send guards down. Anything powerful enough to block divination magic is probably a bit above their skill level. Luckily, you came highly recommended.
Can we
Did my
deal with this?
By who?
did my fan club write in again?
And
Did my supervisor actually, like, say something nice?
And as you are looking around the room and kind of wondering exactly what the hell could be going on, in the shadows beside the fireplace, a man is going to suddenly stand up into view, having been completely invisible to you a second ago, and is going to take a step forward. He's clothed in a long gray robe that is tinged with swirls of green and blue. Well, that would be me. I thought that it'd be good to get all of you together for one more adventure. And the man will ruin my dramatic entrance. The man will pull back his hood, and you'll see that you recognize the hood before you recognize the man. For the man inside is Osric, the half-elven companion that you had for, 100 years?
Oh
Except-
man, Professor Ozzy, you're still around?
I don't die so easily.
That
Gaunt,
makes two
good
of
to see
us.
you again. And
Yeah, that altar.
No.
hello, Songbird. And as he pulls back his hood, you see that the half-elven man in front of you, once a bit of what the ladies would refer to as a stud muffin, is now a man with a long nose that has outgrown the look of his face. His ears have started to droop slightly with age, and his beard, the sign of his human heritage, is now steely gray and hangs down almost like a dwarf's. His face is riddled with wrinkles, and he smiles. I was hoping that we could assemble together, and we could head in and find what's causing this problem, and take care of it once and for all.
Alright, so mysterious magic that is blocking their divination.
I bet it's a cult. It's always a cult down in the graveyard.
I mean, I guess that would get me more funding. But also, I'm very curious how they're blocking divination.
We can deal with these, whatever is responsible in whatever manner we see fit.
I like him.
Lord Neverember will nod and say, so long as you rescue the kidnappees, try to
They're still
keep...
alive.
Tell you what, let's go with, meet force with force. Do what you have to do to get it done. No unnecessary killing, alright? If it proves necessary, though, I wouldn't expect you to do anything besides save their lives and your own.
But
I can work that.
ideally, you
definition.
would want someone to interrogate, yes? Find out who's behind?
If there is something behind this, yes.
We'll try to bring back one survivor.
Well. And as for payment, if there are 4 disappearances, there are likely to be more, and these are prominent people around town. I would like some heroes in residence here in Neverwinter. I'm willing to offer each of you a house of your own inside of Neverwinter. A fine one. Do with it what you want. There's a decent amount of property here, and if you decide to sell, you can reap the profits, but I would appreciate having you in town tax-free, of course.
I wasn't planning on staying.
Are there any reputable companies in town that I could have, if we got that, actually like handle the rental as I travel? That would not
I'm
swindle
sure
me.
there could be.
Too
You'd
bad.
have to speak with my seneschal about that.
Excellent.
I'm sure there are a number of people who you could hire out, Osric will say. But in the meanwhile, what do you say? Adventure?
Well, duh, there's stuff to study.
What
You
say
know,
you?
the cult's involved, that so am I.
One last adventure, Osric?
I hope to have at least another one in me after this, but it'd be good to go back on the road with you. With both of you.
I'm sorry, I seem to have forgotten a previous engagement. You must excuse me. And she is going to leave.
You are going to step out into the hallway. And the guards don't try to stop you. But as you step into the hallway, the doors will open and then shut behind you. And Osric will be standing in the hallway already, somehow. Leaving so soon.
No, I hate when you do that.
Yes, I know. It is you. Where have you been?
No, not anymore.
Imogen.
Imogen is dead.
Well, who has her
She
sword
has
then?
to be.
All right, well then whoever you are, I have need of a woman who can swing a sword and face down a Glabrazu. Who can look a Lamia in the eyes and call her a bitch. I have need of someone with a spine as straight as an immovable rod. And the courage of a dragon. Or at the very least, I need a bitch with a really sharp sword.
Damn it.
Are you that bitch?
God damn it.
Are you okay?
This was supposed to be a way to make money.
Oh, you're
I
going
I don't have all of that in it, but I do have a sharp sword.
If it's any consolation, you're going to make a shitload of money.
That's good.
And with luck, we'll get to stab a lot of people. You always
Yeah.
loved that. Has that changed?
No.
I am.
Fine. Good. Fine.
Good. We can get emotional later. For now, let's have a drink and prepare to go kill a bunch of likely evil cultists and zombies and crap like that.
I'll take 5 of those drinks, but yes, all right. Cool.
Yeah, maybe Imogen's not so dead after all. You sure drink like her.
It's all I had left.
Well, bottoms up. And the one in front of you will dissipate into mist. And the door behind you will open. And you'll see Osric holding a glass of wine out for you. And your 3 other new party members.
You're still such a fucking show off. She's gonna go take the glass of wine.
All right. Shall we plan? We've got a lot of ground to cover. Because, of course, we've got to do this at night.
You always did enjoy doing things in the dead of night.
All the best adventures happen, right?
Well, to the best adventure. Cheers.
To old reunions. Here I thought I wouldn't have seen people from 100 years ago. To new ones. With a new one. Friends.
It's a new one.
2 explosions.
2 explosions.
Controlled, I hope.
Meet. Stay. I'm a close up,
Cold, uncontrolled.
in your face kind of combat. So controlled is gonna be. Do not.
I'm in the party more of overkill than underkill.
I can appreciate
Lyra
that.
looks to the camera in an office style.
She would be the one who could do that.
Yeah. I'm the astral self. I can see into the 4th dimension.
Yeah.
The 4th
Look at the
wall.
audience.
Yeah.
Well, let's get planning. And as you lean around the table, you had no idea that this chance meeting would be the beginning of your greatest adventure yet. But we're going to figure out exactly what that means after we come back from this break, folks. Don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the part of the program where we're going to talk to chat for the first time in this campaign. So how are you guys enjoying the first half of game so far?
Well, I've already cried.
Yay!
So I'm having a
Success.
great time.
Yep, great success.
Great
Great
success.
So far, so good.
Great
All right.
success.
Great. Crying. Everybody, we got like 2 botches immediately. It's going pretty well.
I haven't rolled yet as Lir'wen. It'll be interesting. I have not
I
yet
should have made
rolled.
you roll for the jalapenos.
You should have.
I should have, but I didn't. I know. Oh, hey folks. Also, thanks to the new person who joined the Patreon during game tonight. Wonderful to have you here. I'm not going to call out names on channel. I don't know if we should do that, right? Should we do welcome to the Patreon person? Because it's kind of public if you're on the Patreon. But I don't know. I never really thought about it. But anyway, you know who you are, person who just joined the $10 tier. Welcome. Good to have you here. And yeah, I'm excited. We also had an upgrade today because Sorcerer Sanguine became a demon. He's no longer a wizard. He sold his soul.
Oh, okay.
Right.
One of those then.
One of those then.
One of those Tremere then.
Yeah, basically just a Tremere. Hashtag just Tremere things.
Those Tremere things.
Makes sense with the blood magic, Sorcerer Sanguine, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a lot of sense.
Apparently, Sorcerer Sanguine didn't realize that sanguine meant red or bloody because it also means in good humor.
Yeah, good humor, good blood.
I know, but but when he made the name, he thought it was Sorcerer Happy, which it is.
It is,
but also, Sorcerer Bloody.
Yeah, happy blood. It's just happy blood
Day.
Yeah.
Happy Blood Day.
Happy Blood Day.
That's Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Wednesday is Blood Day.
Wednesday,
so anybody have any questions or comments or anything about game so far? Anything that we should touch on real quick?
I didn't know how Imogen was gonna come out of my mouth, and I love this.
Yeah, she's a wreck, man.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to her improvement.
I'm curious about I'm curious about how many viewers are going to be put off by the fact we didn't jump right into the dungeon crawl. Because I kid you not, there's the page of setup. So it goes from this: getting started, Never Death Graveyard is the next subheading. There literally is the setup, and then you're in the graveyard doing stuff. The next page, and I'm like, we took an hour and a half to get there because I wanted some character. Dang it.
Well, and I actually literally had this conversation earlier today in that I always do this thing, especially when we're, with Dragonlance and with Vecna, we're planning the game months in advance. We don't have the book to tell us exactly how it starts, right? So I have this tendency to make a character who doesn't fit into the start of the module.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And then I'm like, well, okay, but I do like the little intro scenes and characterization, and it's fun.
Well, it's good because it helps you ground yourself in the world.
Yeah, I also like it gives you that first little spotlight too, so then each person gets a little thing to introduce their character to the audience and let you have your however many minutes of just you and the DM kind of being able to kind of show off your character and also get comfortable with your character too, because I know for me, I have an idea of what Lir'wen's gonna sound and act like, but until she comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, and that's something else that I really enjoy about it too, is seeing the other characters and figuring out oh, okay, cool. I know Rosie's had a little bit of limelight, and it's always so much fun, an artificer like that being in a game. But I didn't really have a good feel for how everyone else was going to be as well, and it's just oh, cool, okay, cool, this will be neat and this will be fun, and it's great to see that and see everyone have a little bit of a moment like that.
I agree. I think it's really cool. I realized I didn't roll Osric's hit points. So I gotta quickly do that.
He needs some.
Yeah, I saw
Don't love
on your
this bitch.
sheet. I was say I saw on the sheet initially when you were first editing, when you showed it to us, and I saw that he had 11 hit points, and I'm like, I hope Kelly gets to that.
Don't Levna this bitch.
Oh,
Not
God,
another
the
one.
Levna thing. Oh god. So let's take a look here. So how many hit points do they all get the same amount of hit points?
Levna.
I'm using the sidekick rules
Sweet
for him.
Levna.
So if anybody is in the future saying you're using the sidekick rules wrong, I know I'm cheating. I was doing sidekick rules, and I'm like, they don't get any domain spells or anything. I don't like this. So I'm basically just making him a half character. So I gave him all of his domain abilities, or else he couldn't have done that thing where he popped out of the door. Technically,
Which the audience immediately caught on what kind of cleric he is, which is great.
Which is great. I mean, technically, he couldn't have done it because it was out of line of sight, but we're going to assume there was like a glass pane or something in the window. You know.
When the door was open, then he could do
open.
it. And then there's a glass plane, and then, yeah, it's fine.
Right? That's all that matters.
Magical bullshit.
Magical
Right.
bullshit. Hit points. When it gains a hit dice. Well, what is their hit dice? Is it not?
D8.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
the
he's
others,
D8.
though.
Clerics are
It's just a
D8.
D8? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Quick question for you, Christine.
Quick answer. Yes.
I know
You're not Christine, Kelly.
Oh, sorry.
I know when I wore Dorland's costume, it just felt like channeling, like that kind of manic. And when Caitlin and I gender like switched the characters, and I dressed up and went as pink as Zarya, and she did Dorland, she was just like, "Oh my god, I can see where you get it from. I put this on, and now I just want to do science, mad science." And it's like, do you feel the same when you get dressed up as Rosie? Is it the artificial energy?
Not yet. But then I've only played the character like once before this. So I don't quite have the vibe yet, I don't think. I was more focused on like getting the goggles in place without them falling down and hitting my nose. Because that fucking hurts, by the way. Because I've done it.
I have the same goggles. I know
And they
the
do
feel.
nothing.
I have one hand on while I'm adjusting them.
There we go. Osric now has 59 hit points. Wolf. He's got a +0 to con. So yeah. Thanks for showing up tonight, folks. I'm excited to get into the dungeon crawly portion of this. Yeah. New campaigns, man. They're always like, it's always stressful. But I hope you're having fun. These characters are great. You guys look great. Like, everybody looks great, seriously. You should see Chris without the mask on. It's nobody cared who he was until he put on the mask. But now he looks more like a zombie than Vecna.
I could take the mask off for a moment.
If you want to, it's up to you. You can do it after game.
Reveal.
God, you even whited all your hair out. It's ridiculous.
No, that's just natural. I missed part of that.
Face reveal scream.
Right in the oof.
What,
Right in the oof
What
there.
did I miss there, Robin? What's so funny?
Your face.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, got the ears too, and I tried to do the scar on his neck, and
Dude, like getting face paint out of your ears is the worst. Be sure to have Q-tips on hand.
noted.
Whenever I do Lark, I find green for like 3 days, like 3 showers later. I'm still finding green in my
No,
ears.
I hate it in the nose. My face paint gets in the nose.
Really?
I cannot get it out.
No, it's my ear, man. Like yeah. Anyway. All right, folks. I think besides saying, hey, thanks for joining the Patreon, join the Patreon. It's a great place to be. And at the $10 tier, you're going to get the Heroic Histories, which is getting ridiculous. There are now, it's not just one event table now, just in case you're wondering why it's taking so long. It's because it was just, you go to a place. Now there are 100 places you can start at. And then it was, what happened? And now it's not a what happened, it's a what type of conflict happened, of which each has a D100 list of the different types. And then so on and so on. And some of them are ridiculous. Like in some of the social ones, like you have to pose as like a noble son. And other ones, you have to, what was one of the really good ones?
I love the plot twists.
Yeah, and that there are additional optional tables that's like, hey, if this story wasn't fun enough, here's a plot twist. Don't use them too often, but like, it was all a dream.
or it's just like it was time travel was involved, and it was all your fault.
Yeah. And they're really great. We did another one last night with Christine did a couple, and then Robin did a couple. And Chris pulled up every monster and put them on a spreadsheet. So I was having both of them roll a D, using a computer for this, a D 1967, because that's how many monsters there were on that list that Chris made. And it was really interesting because I think it was Robin's adventures. Who had
The whirlworm
Yeah, you fought a whirlworm
in an orchard.
Well, the orchard was on a cliffside, to be fair. But it was like you rolled a prison transport, breaks, and like a bunch of prisoners escape. But what happened was they got capsized by like a sea dragon. And so she had to fight a sea dragon.
Yeah.
And then Christine had one where she went to a ghost town and had to go and oh, hey Breck, good to see you. Had to go find like an heirloom that had been bequeathed to her, but it had been stolen by a level 1 Fey cat. So a level 9 character hunting down a level 1 creature that just has the ability to like teleport. It's just fun. You get some cool dynamics. Oh. Right, you guys ready to hop back in?
I was gonna say, speaking of cool dynamics, why don't we see how we handle this graveyard?
Graveyard.
The real test of things, I have to figure out how the fucking artificer works. And remember all their shit.
Facts.
Good luck.
I get to swing a sword. Yay.
I get to punch. It's
Fine.
great.
Those are both
Sometimes
Jen
you
and
get to
I-
swing the sword
X to
twice,
punch. X to punch.
but sometimes you get to like double tap.
X, flurry of blows.
There you have it.
Stunning strike.
All right, folks. So without further ado, let's head back into Vecna, Eve of Ruin, here on Dork Tales. Hello and welcome back to Vecna, Eve of Ruin. When last we saw the characters, they had reconnected with an old friend named Osric, there inside of Lord Neverember's estate. From there, they were told that they needed to make their way to Never Death Graveyard. As you prepared for your trip across the city and your investigation into these missing people, Lord Neverember and the priest provided an overview of the graveyard. There are 2 sprawling connected cemeteries, the main graveyard and the Pauper's Graveyard. The Pauper's Graveyard is one that Gaunt is more familiar with from his time there. The Pauper's Graveyard features numerous simple headstones, but a few civic-minded citizens funded a communal catacombs when it was first built as well. Besides that, you were instructed to head to Halleck's Mausoleum. It's near the wall that separates the main graveyard from the Paupers to the west. It's pretty simple looking. Would you have headed there immediately, or would you have stuck around and done some prep first?
Rosie will need to spend some time to build Boom Boom again.
Okay.
Should put him away while in town.
Fair. All right. Is Imogen the only one here who can't see in the dark?
I don't have dark vision, but I do have blind fighting as a fighting style.
Ooh, I'm so proud of you. That's awesome.
Nice.
I have backstory reasons for having that.
For what was in the dark. Okay, let's hop back in right here at 21. 21. All right, so you head over toward the Never Death Graveyard. Are you doing anything before you head over there?
Just casting some spells.
All right. Which spells are you casting?
Armor of Agathis, and then I'm summoning my pact weapon as a giant, menacing, like obsidian greatsword.
Nice. Anybody else doing anything? So you, Rosie, you have rebuilt or brought along Boom Boom, your little cannon homunculus? What are they called specifically?
It's an eldritch cannon.
Okay. All right. Anybody else doing any prep?
As we get close, like super close to the crypt, because my arms, well, I guess I can just keep redoing it every 10 minutes. But as we get sort of close and it gets sort of dark, Lir'wen's just going to, as they're walking, she's kind of just gonna stop and just like put a hand in front of her face and just start muttering very quietly in Elvish, and all of a sudden you're going to see the tattoos around her face and on her arms suddenly start glowing this bright blue, and you're going to see this almost spectral mask suddenly appear, almost like I kind of imagine like a force field, almost like where it's still translucent. So she has a force field mask, and then you're going to suddenly see 6 arms or 2 more sets of arms come from each side of her, so she's a total of 6 arms. And so you're just going to suddenly see spectral arms that look very much like her own arms, with, again, translucent light blue, but you can kind of see a lighter blue indicating her tattoos as well. And so she'll suddenly do that and then just catch up with everyone else, because Lir'wen has a 60-foot movement speed, so she's fast.
She fast.
I'll
All right.
look over at Osric when that happens and just like, that's not something you see every day.
Really? Maybe we're just hanging out in different crowds.
Imogen will pull out her shield, and she will go first because she is a tank.
This is true. I love how everybody else is doing preps, getting out like eldritch weapons, and you're like, sword.
I don't even draw the sword yet, but I did forget that when we were talking dark vision, I do have a sunblade, so it's not like I'll need...
Oh, fair. Just let me know when you turn that on so that we can have like the sound effect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
It's when I draw it, basically. It just becomes a sword when I draw it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's a hilt.
Oh, fair. Yeah. It's that one. So are you drawing that?
I'll draw it when we, like, go to approach.
All right. Sounds good.
Look, I suppose for you then, quick note is just that I have 4 infusions already going. I picked them before we started.
Okay.
But I have Cloak of Protection, Enhanced Weapon, Enhanced Defense, and Bag of Holding set up.
Nice. So many bags of
which-
holding.
I think none of them need attunement,
Right? Isn't it great?
according to my list. So I still have
Uh,
1 attunement slot free.
Cloak of Protection does, unless it's like different for the Artificer, but I have to have I have to be attuned to my Cloak of Protection.
That might be the only one then. But
Yeah.
regardless, I only have 3 things attuned.
Yeah.
Of everything.
All right. As you approach the mausoleum, you make your way through the graveyard. This side of the city is quiet. Above you, well, let's just say that the people who, let's just say that the neighbors are not particularly noisy usually. Although as you are walking through, you will see the occasional rotting corpse shambling through the dark. They give you no trouble, and anybody who wishes to could easily just kill a couple of zombies as they're walking by. Just for fun. It literally says that in the module, by the way. It's pretty funny. The wandering zombies and skeletons don't pose a challenge. So they're just like chilling, you know?
If any, like, seem to approach us, I'll probably just, like... Because,
Well, I mean,
Alright.
really, at this stage, it's the public service to clean it out a little bit.
yeah, basically. I'm not going hunting, I'm just, if anything comes close.
Sounds good.
I mean, Rosie doesn't have to go too far away either. It's like, firebolt. Firebolt.
So you grind some
240 range.
You grind 25 XP per, you know, it's fine. Above you, thunder clouds are brewing. The towering stone mausoleums in Neverdeath Graveyard cluster near the wall, separating the main graveyard from the Pauper's Graveyard to the west. Ahead of you, you are going to see Halleck's Mausoleum. It's a squat, unassuming granite block in the shadow of larger monuments to the west and south. Its metal double doors bear a rusty, broken chain and a padlock that hangs off the door. What do you do?
Imogen's in the lead. She's gonna look back, be like, going in?
Ready?
You take front.
I'll be right
Or
behind.
do you need it to... Do I need to cut a chain? What's
I
that
can
about?
use my. I have a few hands if you don't want to dull your blade.
I've got tools too.
Well,
Oh, that works as well.
just to reiterate, the chain is broken.
Okay.
Someone
Yeah.
has broken this chain
Oh.
open.
I'm not at the front, so I don't know. So Rosie's asking.
Oh, fair.
Hey, do you need the
I
chain?
heard. I just heard
Any
dusty,
thought?
rusty chain. I heard rusty chain.
Yeah, that's a name I used to dance under.
Nice.
Rawr.
Imogen will, go in.
All right. Pulling the little bit of broken chain clear that's just holding the gate shut more than anything, like a bookmark. It's going to rattle a little bit, and as you pull it open, you are going to see that this rusty door, this metal double door, opens soundlessly, as if it were well oiled.
That's not right.
Did they put the rust on for aesthetic?
Or somebody's been here to oil it.
That too.
Can we hear anything?
You can make me a perception roll.
I would love to. Lir'wen's first roll of the game.
Do it.
I rolled a 7. 9 is 16. I'm going to spend my it's just an ability check for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Skill check. I'm going to use my reserves of knowledge
Okay.
to
So
add
that's a D6, I believe.
Yeah. That's a 6, so 22.
22. All right. So looking at everybody's scores, can I? Let's see. So we have a 22. Would you get? Did anybody get below a 15?
Yes.
Okay. What did you get, Imogen?
11.
Okay. So looking around, Imogen, you are going to see, for one, it doesn't make any noise. The crypt the crypt interior is dusty. But even you can see that there are tracks on the dusty ground that lead to a descending staircase near the rear of the room. Everyone else is going to notice this, and notice that these tracks are fresh. As of tonight, you would say. It is raining outside, or at least brewing, and the pauper side of the graveyard is a bit muddy and sloshy. There are dark footsteps amidst the dust. Anybody who got a 20 or higher is going to be able to notice that there are 6 stone coffins against the walls, 3 on each side. Each is engraved with a name, a birth year, and a death year of the Halleck's family. They all died about 40 years ago, which anyone who is proficient in history is automatically going to know that that's when Mount Hotenow erupted, a local volcano. Since then, the area there over to the east, kind of like east of Neverwinter, north of Phandalin, has become, well, There's a village there called Thunder Tree that no one goes to anymore because it has been overrun with the undead after a volcanic outburst. Although there are some stories that it is getting better recently. You're going to also see that a couple of these coffins have been opened. These stone slabs are slightly ajar. In fact, if you have a 20 or above, all 6 of them are slightly ajar.
Coffins are open.
Yes, I have an idea.
Hmm?
May I enter first?
After you.
I'll
Why?
take down my hood and just kind of shuffle in there, groaning.
Imogen is kind of standing in the doorway and she's looking at you and asking why.
Oh.
Because she's like, I'm a tank and you look like a skeleton. So.
I'm hard to keep down.
All right.
I'm going to pretend to be a zombie and just kind of shuffle into the room. Dragging the sword in one hand and just like,
He does that a little too well, you hear Osric say from the back.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy. Ahead of you, Gaunt, you see that there are stone stairs. They descend from the Halleck's mausoleum into a large subterranean chamber with stone coffins sitting on sturdy shelves. As you start heading down the stairs, part of the west wall has collapsed, you will notice. And there's an opening into another chamber. However, as you begin shuffling down the stairs, I think we should switch to our maps. As you head down the stairwell, you are going to notice that marching around the chamber to the south are 5 pale, desiccated warriors wearing wicked-looking armor. Do you continue to shuffle down the stairwell?
yes.
Okay. Can you please make me a deception roll?
I sure can.
I believe in you.
24.
Holy crap, I guess I really should have believed in you.
I'm
All right.
good at pretending to be a zombie, apparently.
As you shuffle down the stairwell, the sound of the rolling thunder vanishes from overhead. And as you are shuffling, one of these creatures that you'll recognize immediately as a wight will turn and approach. It takes a step forward and juts its sword into the side of your chest, just enough that it pricks you a little.
What are you doing here, deadling? Begone.
Laying you to rest. And
What?
All right,
up with
give me
the
an
great
initiative
sword.
roll, everybody. First one of the game, let's go!
19.
Woo!
All right. So, Chris, you can make one free attack before initiative begins.
That'll be a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit. Oh, these initiative rolls are great.
Um,
Come on, Osric. Oh, damn.
14 damage. Magic.
All right, 14 damage. Your blade is going to slash out. How does it go in?
So I'm going to, I would have been dragging it behind me while shuffling, and when I say lay you to rest, I just put my other hand on it and just bring it right up in front of him.
Fantastic. All right, so let's look at initiative order. We actually have some pretty ridiculous initiative here. We have Rosie Then we have Osric. Then we have Gaunt. Then we have Lir'wen. Then we have Imogen. And then we have the whites, because I rolled 3, 4, 7, and 9.
I was gonna joke
Oh.
about, you know, being the Levna of the party, because obviously, but then also with the initiative roll, and then but they actually all beat me, or they didn't all beat me like they would have with Levna.
Yeah, Levna would definitely have lost the initiative roll. All right,
Yeah.
so folks, it is initiative time. Rosie, you are up. What do you do?
All right. I am just going to pull my arcane firearm and shoot them with firebolt.
All right, sounds good. So from your angle, you can see the one that you can definitely see the one that Gaunt is fighting. You can also see the two past him from your angle.
I think I'm gonna go for the farther one.
Sounds good. The one at the very bottom there will work.
Not
with me.
quite the very bottom, but the furthest right bottom.
Okay, sounds good. Are you going to make any movement to reach?
No? Why would
Okay.
I?
Just for positioning, for angling. All right, sounds
Okay.
good.
I think that's a pretty direct. Oh, by the way, all my feats mean that they have like next to no cover for me when I'm casting a spell.
Oh, you're right. You don't have any. There are no cover difficulties, so shooting through allies is fine.
Yeah, so spell sniper ignores half cover and 3/4 cover.
All right, so never mind that. That I was saying because you're shooting with Gaunt in the way, but because of spell sniper, you don't even have to worry about that.
Well, he's also down the stairs though, so aren't I higher?
The stairs kind of descend a bit, so it is kind of an awkward angle. But with spell sniper, you don't got to worry.
But don't I have the high ground?
All right, Obi-Wan, roll. And then, unless I tell you otherwise, the roof is 10 feet tall.
Okay, so that's a spell attack. So that is that. So that would be 25.
That is absolutely a hit against a white. Roll me damage.
Okay. So this is 2d10 plus a d8 for the arcane focus. Points of damage.
20 points of damage. All right.
Fire damage specifically.
There is a plume of flame that fires out, slamming into the white at the bottom, well, the southeast corner of the room. Fire is going to engulf it, and it is going to shriek at you as it is burned. Perfect. Anything else on your turn?
Not yet. So I think that's it for me.
All right. Next to you, Osric is going to take a step forward, almost step past Imogen and go, you know, I think I'll let you handle this one. All right, Tamora, cook his bacon. And is going to cast Sacred Flame.
Nice.
On the one that Gaunt is fighting. That is a nat 1.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so Sacred Flame at level 10 is actually really good. Okay, Sacred Flame, level 10. That is then a D8. Oh, it's only 2D8 until next level. Oh well. But he did crit, so give me just one sec. I need dice. All right, that is 15 points of damage. That is 18 points of damage to that one, as Divine Radiance from the Goddess of Luck smashes into this one in front of you, Gaunt. Try not to let it touch you. The flame, I mean. It probably doesn't go well with your whole aesthetic, Gaunt.
I'll keep that in mind.
And then Osric is going to go, you see that? It was pretty good. Oh, after you. And he's going to take a step back behind Imogen. Gaunt, it's your turn again. What do you do?
I will attack this one twice now.
Ooh.
With a nat 1 for the first attack roll.
Perfect. That's beautiful. The white is going to rally. And can you do me a favor and make me a strength saving throw?
17.
17. Oh, hold on. I gotta compare it against his strength. That is not gonna be enough. All right. You are going to swing your blade. The white is going to pull its longsword up, lock blades with you, and twist. And your blade is going to clatter to the ground 10 feet away next to the collapsed corridor.
Cool.
What do you do?
I summon it back into my hand.
It's going to snarl at you.
And attack it again.
You know what?
And
He
this time-
tried.
Huh? He tried, yeah. Nope, fair
That was
enough.
a-
Packed
that was a
weapons are
good
awesome. And that's going to be a crit.
Oh my god! Okay, who are you giving your inspiration to?
I'm going to give it to Imogen.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm going to, yeah, I'll give it to Imogen. So that's 5, 10, 17, 18 damage.
18 damage. How do you do it?
Yeah, so I'll summon the weapon back, and like as it goes flying, it'll just be like, and just bring it right back down the same way.
All right, the creature is going to flop to the ground in 2 separate pieces as it begins to sizzle, decaying rapidly as its necromantic energies fade away. All right, do you have anything else you want to do on your turn?
Make my eyes glow red.
All right, cool. You can do that because of your dread mask. Perfect. All right, next up we have Lir'wen.
All right, Lir'wen is gonna just go for a little jaunt, little gaunt, one might say, with my lovely up to 60 feet of movement, because monks are great. So Lir'wen's going to just walk real fast and kind of get in the middle of all these zombies. I know they're whites, but I had to sing. And she's going to make 2 attacks, one on each of the. I'm gonna spend a key point to do flurry of blows, and I'm going to use my quarterstaff on the 2 that are right in front of me, and then using my astral arms, which extend my reach 5 feet, I'm going to smack the other 2.
Basically being like, what?
Well, just Lyra's gonna like take her staff and she's going to like try and hit the 2 right in front of her, and then with the other 2 with 2 of her 4 extra arms, are just gonna like reach back and like is how I'm imagining this going, depending on how things hit.
All right, let's do it.
You're going.
Let's roll your dice, starting with highest on the clock and going counterclockwise.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so the one to the north.
Oh my god, my dice are chaotic. Does a 14 hit?
14 hits.
Wild. Okay, so then the 17 hits.
Yep.
Cool. And then the other 2.
Strangely, they hit.
Yeah, 27 hits, but I might spend my determination on this because 13, because I rolled a 4, so I'll spend my determination to make that a 17.
Okay, that's 4 hits. Roll me damage.
Perfect. All this is magical. Okay, so total of 4, 34 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
To the first one?
Oh, right. They're all separate. Right. That was together.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one's going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The second one's going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. You're learning about death by paper cuts at this point, aren't you?
Yep. I should have done all, but I wanted to have that cool moment of being in the center and just going, "Phew." 9 bludgeoning damage to the third one, and 11 bludgeoning damage to the fourth one.
All right. You tenderize the hell out of them as this swirl of blue arms fires out of you.
You had to do the
smashing
cool
into-
shot at least once.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's gonna be Lir'wen's turn.
All right. That is Lir'wen's...
Actually,
No? What else do you want to do?
I have 20 feet of movement still. And I'm just debating if letting Imogen get in here.
You have mobile, right? You took that as a feat?
Yeah, I have mobile, right? Yep.
Okay.
So that I was just checking that. You don't provoke opportunity attacks. Cool. Lir'wen's gonna back up.
Okay. So you rush in, flurry around, and then just go whoop, 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 into the corner. Perfect. All right. Anything else?
That is it.
Perfect. Imogen, it is your turn.
All right. So since I don't have Roll20 or Twitch up at this point because it was being weird,
I gotcha.
describe the room.
So, looking down, you are at the top of a large stairwell that goes down into the ground into an actual like catacomb. From where you are, you're actually 30 feet down, well, 30 feet above where the stairs descend. And if you follow that full 30 feet, you will find yourself standing next to Gaunt, and you will be diagonal away from one of these corpses wielding longswords and armor.
Cool. I will go and attack the one I can reach because I only have 30 feet of movement.
Sounds good. You absolutely can. Rushing down, one of the wights is holding a longsword and is kind of shaking her head from where this astral fist just like broke the rest of her nose off. It's lying on the floor, kind of just like rotting.
Nice.
Oh, come on!
I will. I have 2 attacks, so we're gonna see if I need both of them for this, but
Sounds good.
do this.
Don't forget that you have inspiration you can use.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't need to use it on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I remembered I have it, and then
Okay.
I was like, but also I rolled okay. That is a math 21.
That's well above a hit.
Cool. Do you want me to like roll both if I'm gonna hit her with both kind of thing?
If you're trying to hit her with both, roll for both just to see if you hit.
Cool. That one is a 25.
That is absolutely a hit. Roll me damage for both.
Cool. 5. And they're undead, right?
They are undead. Oh, you're drawing it?
I had it out. It's
Oh,
the
that's
only
fair.
blade I have.
All right, so Imogen rushes down the stairs, like pulling out a blade of concentrated sunlight. And, well, balls. That's going to suck for these guys. Oh, let me
Yeah,
double
it
check
is.
something. That actually counts as sunlight. So,
Yes, it does.
Disadvantage on attack rolls when in sunlight.
Cool.
Well, that sucks.
That is 20 damage on the first attack.
Oh, still up,
radiant.
but absolutely hurt.
Okay. And then that is 21 for the second.
How do you do it?
I think she rushes down and just as she draws that blade, she makes it like a complete fluid motion and just slices up and through the white. And when it's not quite dead, reverses and comes back down for the second strike.
It is going to dissolve into ash as your sunblade cuts through it. A beautiful stroke, and now there are 3 of them remaining. They're going to look at you warily, but they have not been hired to just hang out. In fact, they haven't been hired at all. You guys are getting paid. These guys aren't. They are going to, they're going to charge, one of them is going to charge Lir'wen. Another one is going to charge Gaunt, and a third one is going to kind of pace back and forth for a moment before charging you. The first is going to attack Lir'wen. Now, I'm going to consider them in sunlight because the Sunblade sheds, is it 15 feet? Or is it 10 feet?
It is bright sunlight in a 15-foot radius and dim light for another 15.
Well, okay, so that's disadvantage against Lir'wen. I'm going to spend a hurt them more to roll flat. I think I hit you, actually. Okay, so Lir'wen, that is going to be a 23 to hit you.
Damn it! Yes, you hit.
Okay. That was not great. You're going to take 3 points of piercing damage because I rolled a 1. Oh, actually, they're using it with 2. Yeah, whatever. All right, so 3 points of piercing damage slices into one of your shoulders as the first one lunges forward and snarls. You're
gonna stain. That's gonna stain, asshole.
I'll stain your soul.
And he is going to try to backhand you across the, backblade you across the throat, but you're going to easily duck under his 15. All right. One attacks Gaunt. That one is just going to rely on disadvantage. That is going to... Damn, I should know. That was a 4 and a 17. The 17 would have hit. The first one is going to whiff as Gaunt easily steps out of the way. And the second is going to be a nat 1. Gaunt, would you like to opportunity attack, or would Imogen?
After you.
You may use your reaction to opportunity attack if you'd like.
I'll take it.
I'm within 10 feet of him with my arms.
I mean, anybody who wants to spend their reaction may do so.
Oh, love to.
Okay.
Punch. I thought you were asking, like, Imogen if she wanted to, like, take it for... Yeah, I thought, yeah. It was 1.
That's all right.
Math. That's a 20 to hit.
That's a hit.
It was a 25.
Okay. 2 hits. Roll me damage.
That's 16 radiant.
Ooh.
6
Nice.
magical, because I rolled a 1.
I mean, it's still up, but the way I'm picturing this is that, like, it tries to dodge out of the way, like, overextends itself, and then suddenly an astral hand lashes out and slams it in the ribs, which pushes it right into Imogen's way.
Yeah.
Just
beautiful.
It's the old muscle memory between the two of you. All right, and then the last
I think Imogen falters for a second with that, like, feeling of, oh, we've done this before.
And as you falter, I'm spending a hurt them more to roll flat. Hey, Imogen! Does a 24 hit you?
Ooh, it does.
Cool. This one is going to watch as you slash its friend, and is going to come down with 7 points of slashing damage, but you have heavy armor, Master, don't you?
I do.
So that's -3?
Yep.
Okay, so you take 4 points of slashing damage as an overhead chop impacts with your shoulder and scrapes down your front.
Oh.
I only have 4 hurt them mores, so I am going to just attack with disadvantage. And he's going to whiff on that other shot. That is going to be their turn because they're whites and they don't really get very much that they can do, unfortunately, aside from the life drain, which I should have probably done, but I didn't. Top of the initiative, we have, you know what, I'm going to spend a hurt them more to try a life drain attack. Why not? Why not? I'm going to try to life drain Lir'wen. I'm going to spend a hurt them more to roll flat, and that dice is gone forever. It was a 16. It was worth a try. All right, Rosie, it's your turn. So
Rosie.
you watch one of them like lash out and try to grab Lir'wen with like a glowing hand. The one you shot,
The
actually.
glowing hand of Lir'wen's just kind of like bats it away.
All right. Well, I mean,
Nice.
I already shot that guy before with a firebolt. Like,
Mhm.
let's just finish the job.
Fair.
She's gonna shoot him for realsies though with a bullet this time.
All right.
And
this is a
that
magic gun, right?
is- Sorry,
It's a magic gun, right?
it's a +2/+2.
Perfect. I just need to know for purposes of damage reduction.
Yes. That is a 15 to hit.
15 to hit is enough because these guys really should have worn better armor.
All right, and that is 12 damage.
12 damage. Did you remember to add the +2 to damage from the gun?
Yes.
Okay.
My dex mod is only 4.
Okay. Only 4. All right. You are going to punch a bullet into that one. How do you do it?
I think she just kind of like is holding her pistol and just kind of levels it again, and what comes out of it this time is like a little burst of flame and a projectile instead of the firebolt that happened last time.
There is a mushrooming of blood, brain, and rotten skull that is going to explode out the back of this one's head, and it's going to drop to the ground and begin sizzling. Anything else on your turn?
Nah. I wouldn't take
Or-
away a kill, honestly, from like Imogen. Like that would just be rude. I mean, she's famous.
This
She
is fair.
obviously likes doing this too. Like, can't.
Fair. All right. So, I mean, Osric is going to take a look at that one that he can see and is going to go, one more for the money. And, ooh, actually, that is
Osric.
a dex save versus. Nope, that's only a 15. It needed a 17 because you guys are level 10. That's gonna be an additional 10 points of radiant damage as the one in front of Gaunt catches fire and is still up but is now wreathed in holy flame. Gaunt, it's your turn.
Let's put this one to rest as well. Will a 21 hit?
A 21 will absolutely hit with some to spare.
All right. 13 damage.
13 damage. Okay, how do you do it?
This one will be cleaved in half from shoulder to hip.
It collapses on the ground dead. Was there any additional... so, you said how much damage? 13?
13.
All right, using our new rules, you actually drop that thing down by -9. So how do you do 9 points of damage to its friend? We're using our cleave rules.
Right into the thigh.
So you cleave through the other and into it?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. You have a second action, don't you?
Sure do. Does a 15 hit?
It totally does.
Oh my gosh. Only 9 damage.
Only 9 damage. All right. Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna move around it so that it, just in case it runs away, it has to go through me and Imogen.
So what I'm picturing is that you hacked overhead through the other one that begins deteriorating into the side of this one's like upper thigh and hip, and then proceeded to like dance around it, keeping the blade in the meat of his hip as a pivot lever,
Oh my god, yes.
which is going to be that extra grinding damage that you just did.
Beautiful.
It sounds like something that a brutal guy like Gaunt would do, and you have knocked his exit off. Lir'wen, you are up. What's up?
I think not this white for much longer. Lir'wen's just going to come in low with her quarterstaff and go for 2 leg shots and then do a final punch. I won't flurry of blows because I feel like I feel like that might be too much, and don't
Yeah.
waste the key points. And do a final punch to the face, which will hopefully be the killing shot. But so 2 quarterstaffs, and then a punchy punch.
Nice. All right, give it to me.
Nat 20.
Yeah. All right, do it.
Yes! Okay, so nat 20 on one of the, and then I roll a 13 and a 12 plus 9 each.
Yeah, that's 3 hits.
Yes! Okay, so 4d6 plus 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, plus 15. Sorry,
Mhm.
because I
It's okay.
that only did 2. Oh, nice. Okay. 12, 14, 29 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
How do you do it?
So Lir'wen kind of gets low and runs in and does with the one end of her quarterstaff on one leg where it knocks it down, swings around, takes out the second leg, gets on its knees, and then with a final punch, one of the arms from under, like below, just comes out and then just punches, and I kind of want it to comically pop off its neck, like a.
You explode that one with your attack, and it crumbles to the ground. And once again, there is peace inside of this mausoleum. Getting a good look at this for the first time, you can see that there are 6 coffins lining the walls here. 3 along the south wall, 1 along the east, and 2 on the north, flanking the stairwell that you just came down. At the chamber above, Osric will take a step forward and say, "After you," to Boom Boom. Which, please describe Boom Boom as it jumps out of your backpack and begins, like, clip-clopping next to you.
So Boom Boom has been created as a tiny cannon, which means he could fit in my hand. He is a little mechanical cannon on a pair of. He's bipedal. Got 2 little legs, and he's all metal and gears and little like pipes, and like there might be a few little like steam gushes here and there as like he moves. And yeah. He's got like a little sight on top of his head and he'll just like swivel to look at you like think the lamp in the Pixar Eye.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I could just picture the noise too. It's like this like clip, clop, click, 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 click. It's basically BD-8 that shoots people from
Well, he doesn't actually shoot. What he does is gushes forth a cone of fire because he's a flamethrower cannon.
Oh, so he's a war crime. Okay. Fair.
A tiny, adorable war crime, yes.
Aw.
Yeah, so specifically, he's a flamethrower this time. I can always recreate him as a force ballista or a protector. But in this case, he is a flamethrower. So he does a 2d8 15-foot cone of fire.
That's ridiculous. All right. So, looking in this chamber, you're also going to see that the western wall has completely collapsed. And it looks like there's a large chamber beyond it.
We fought 6 weights, right?
5.
5. Okay, so 1 is potentially. But all 6 coffins are open. Yes.
So these coffins are closed, actually. However,
Oh, it was the ones up there you were talking about.
yes.
Oh, I thought it was down.
Nope.
In the chamber.
My bad. So as you
No worries.
are taking a look around this room, which is well illuminated by Imogen's Sunblade, you are going to... By the way, that's new. You haven't seen that before, Lir'wen. That's pretty dope.
Nice.
That is a remarkable
I-
weapon.
It is a civilized weapon.
It does its job.
I don't see what's that civilized about it. For a nice crossbow instead. What? Just because I follow a hokey religion doesn't mean I have to like light swords.
On that note, I'm gonna look over, or try and remember what one of the whites looked like, and use disguise self, and now I look like one of the whites.
Ah!
We're really going to need to have a red dot on his shoulder or something.
Gaunt, you've really cleaned yourself up. Also, he's going to raise a finger, and Lir'wen, you're going to notice exactly what he's about to point at. Anybody else notice that coffin's a bit ajar? And you absolutely did notice it while you were talking to Gaunt just there. On the southern wall, there is a coffin, the southern, easternmost coffin. There's something off about it.
Yes, I see that. And Lir'wen's
Well,
gonna take a walk over.
As you take a poke at it, you are going to see that it is actually a false coffin. And as you touch it, you are going to find a little latch that opens. Well, basically, it slides the coffin aside, where it was blocking a doorway that heads to the south.
Woohoo! Secret passage.
Mm-hmm.
The question
Why don't
is,
we
Good eyes.
Those rarely lead to anything good.
it's true.
Oh, they always lead to the best things and the most interesting things.
Interesting,
So
I'll
they're-
grant you. I don't know
They're
about
going
best.
to they're going to expect do the tracks lead through the destroyed part of the wall or to the
You can make me an
secret
investigation roll.
entrance? Okay. I would like to do that. $17.
17? You don't see any
Mhm.
tracks that lead that way. The little bits of mud and trail seem to go into the room to the west.
I think they might be expecting us to go that way. Pointing to the crumpled wall.
I would
We-
agree.
Then let's do the unexpected.
We could.
It's just like putting on a new pair of shoes or an old pair of shoes. And Lir'wen's gonna start like walking down the secret passage.
Rosie's gonna go scurry to follow you, because hell yes.
Gaunt. Can
That
you give
was
me a
an
hand
easy
with
decision.
this? He points to a coffin with a slightly ajar lid.
Lift up the lid.
Inside of it, you are going to see that there are a pile of wool cloaks. Very nice ones. But otherwise nondescript. As well as a pair of wide hats. Just the type of thing that you would use to blend in public. As well, there's a small vial, a potion, on a leather string.
I'll pick it up and just open up the little vial and just,
It's poison.
oh, if it is, better it's me than you.
This is true. I'm joking. It's, what is it? It tastes like invisibility.
Oh, this will be quite handy. Will make us unseen.
Oh, good. Well, shall we? Are you coming, Songbird? Sorry.
Imogen
Sunny.
will walk down the secret passage and just try and shake that off.
Do you remember why you're called Songbird?
No.
All right. And
One
with
of these
that-
days, Osric.
Hmm?
One of these days. She might just try and stab you.
One of these days, that won't be the first time. Where do you think I got these scars?
To be clear, she doesn't remember that, or she doesn't remember why, but it does elicit an emotional response.
It's a couple of emotional responses.
Mhm.
You can decide what they are, of course, but one of them is kind of like a brief flash of an embarrassing college freshman memory.
Okay.
Like a hazy, like, oh, I drank too much kind of memory.
Mhm. Fair.
As you continue down to the south, you are going to find yourself in a very small room. Rosie, Lir'wen, and now Imogen stand in this room. Rusty standpipes and interlocking cogs cover the wall of this small alcove. Rosie, you can see right now, with your specialty in mechanisms, that the cogs here are absolutely broken. They are not going to work, and unjamming them is just, it's not something that you can do. They're too far gone. They're basically not cogs anymore so much as one piece of metal. However, from here, you can see that there is a door leading to the east. Pardon me, leading to the west. What do you do?
Lir'wen's gonna open the door.
All right.
Solid choice.
Thank you.
The door is unlocked, and as you open it up, you'll see that pipes along the south wall of this room disappear into the walls near the ceiling. A complicated series of cogs and 4 hand-turned wheels connect the pipes.
Why is there a series of like pipes like this in a graveyard? This looks like a bathhouse thing.
Anybody who wants to can make me a history roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage, you say?
I rolled 2 2s, so you know it was meant to be.
That is going to be 21.
Damn. Okay. So
That is
looking at
correct.
this, you have heard a story that once upon a time, there was an occult organization that used to operate out of Neverwinter, called the Water Clock Guild. They used all manner of pipes and steam and other types of water-based mechanisms in whatever their arcane pursuits were. You know the stories that they bound elementals. They basically used steam and water as the foundation of their weird little social club that was basically like an occult organization in the sewers. Apparently,
I mean, like solid decisions and like playing with like steam and pipes and like neat stuff like that. Sewer, not so solid a decision.
fair. All right. So, looking around this room, you can see that, well, this room has mechanisms that appear to still be functional. It looks like these wheels, well, make me an investigation roll. Anybody who's in this room can as well.
That's a 3.
Perfect. These
That's a
wheels,
7. My dice are rolling so low.
28.
I actually rolled a 17 and I have a 0 to it, so
Okay, somehow Imogen knows that what she is looking at here is some type of plumbing system that looks like it's controlled by these gauges. However, both of you are going to realize that you have no idea how turning these wheels is going to affect things because there are no pressure gauges here. There are just the wheels. Now, both of you as well are going to take a look at it and figure out, after kind of banging on a couple of the pipes and taking about 10 minutes just to investigate what the hell this is, you're going to see that, well, the water flows west, and you think you have figured out by kind of pulling a couple of levers and just listening to the sound of the pipes that you now know how to maximize or minimize water pressure. How this is useful is beyond me. Yes, Lir'wen.
If they're taking 10 minutes to investigate, Lir'wen will just have a quick short rest.
Sure. Sounds good. Now there is another room on the other side of this chamber. Basically, this is a walkthrough, but you absolutely can just take a short rest.
I'm gonna take a short rest because I will have to reactivate both my arms and my visage with key points, so I might as well get the key points back before I have to spend them again.
I will stand there creepily and completely motionless while you guys are doing that. Oh,
Lir'wen's
but first
just
I'll
like-
just be like, Lir'wen, perhaps you can use this, and pass you the vial.
Oh.
And then I'll just, like, kind of hover over the other two without moving and just...
After taking your short rest, does anybody want to, I guess nobody was really hurt, so you don't need to spend any hit dice.
I've lost 4 hit points. I have
I've
many
lost
more.
3, and I have many more.
All right. So you're going to figure that out. That it's, pretty basic how this structure works. Well, it's actually complex as hell, but for your minds, it is basic. You know as well that it looks like the water is flowing west and probably is feeding something. Something is to the west, looks like it probably requires a lot of water. What do you do?
Right. Mental note.
Yeah,
Move on.
I don't know what this is for.
I was wondering
Lots
if
of
it was
water.
like looked like something that could be found in a trap later on or something like that. Close that and break it.
Nice. All right.
But if it's not, then we're all good.
Let's move along.
Okay. Pressing onward. The door to the west. Who's the first one to open it?
If Imogen insists, Gaunt will just step back. But
All right. So, Imogen, if you're the one that opens the door, or Gaunt does, regardless, the door is going to easily open, revealing a room full of rusted pipes that run along the walls and ceiling. Now, I have to ask, did you adjust the pipes at all, or just play with them a little bit and then leave them be?
Kind of just like examine them a little to like see what I could find out was happening, but not really play with them too much.
Sounds good. All right. So, rusted pipes run along the walls and the ceiling, and water flows from nozzles in the ceiling pipes. In the center of the room is a deep stone basin that's set into the floor and filled to the brim. The surface ripples, revealing several watery creatures inside. To the south, there's a padlocked door, and you can see that there is a little stairwell along the eastern wall to the south, and another door over on the western wall, as well as a tunnel that rises to the north. As you take a step inside, the water is going to slosh. And out of it a large figure made of water is going to rise up and look at you. The water elemental furrows a liquid brow and begins to make noises in Aquan. Does anybody here speak Aquan?
I speak Primordial.
So do I.
Which means I can kind of conversationally understand the 4 elemental languages.
This is true. All right. It looks over and goes, "What are you doing here? Here to cause more trouble?"
In Primordial, I will respond. I don't know if it'll understand me, but I will respond with, we are looking for those who have been taken.
But are you... Shouldn't you know where they've been taken? You... It points a watery finger at Gaunt. You're one of them. One of the dead ones that was hired, forced into service.
I'll wink at it. Just say, appearances can be deceiving.
Well, what brings you here? Looking for missing ones, yes?
Yes. We followed the trail.
Well, the cultists, the men and women and creatures that go through our home are bullies. We are left to their devices. We are unhappy. We wish...
How can we...
Mhm.
How can we
wish-
change that situation?
We wish you would rid us of them. We can give you a present. Come closer.
Yeah, we can do that.
Take a step forward.
Here. The water elemental will reach down into the fountain pool. And
Imogen's
slow-
gonna like quickly translate for the others if they're looking
Thank
confused.
you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Rosie's gonna kind of peer out and be, so what's going? Oh,
Lir'wen's been
Hi.
like slowly taking steps, seeing that the water elementals are not attacking, and Lir'wen's just kind of just been like feeling out the like making her way towards the you said staircase going up.
I'll give a brief like translation summary, essentially, like they want us to get rid of the rest the cultists.
So,
oh,
as
great.
you're slowly moving
That
around,
sounds wonderful.
the water elemental is going to lift up a bracelet lined with diamonds from the bottom of the basin that it's sitting in. Yes, you like stones.
Thank you for the gift. We will do everything we can to rid these cultists from your home. And I'll just kind of pass the bracelet behind
Okay.
me to...
Make me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Oh, sweet. I'm good at that.
Yep.
With
I'm
ad-
not, so it's good that you're doing this.
With advantage, that would be a 26.
You are able to take the bracelet out of the water elemental's hand without a problem. For a minute, your Gaunt sense tingles as you're like, this could be dangerous. This could be a trap. Oh well. Yoink.
Nice. Okay.
We will hold you to your word, sneaky one. The cultists locked a small creature in the southern room. It points at the padlocked room. I want you to go into these nearby rooms and get rid of those who worship the hand and eye.
Really?
Yes.
Anybody who can make me a religion roll if they'd like.
Does that get? I'm assuming that gets translated.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you say hand and eye?
21, and I'm going to use my reborn ability to give that a d6 on it to get that 21.
Okay, I'm seeing a 26.
26 for Lir'wen.
Okay. That's a 20 from Osric. So the hand and eye is immediately going... A name is going to spring to mind. 22 from Rosie.
I got a 13. Nah, I'm
13?
just I'm vibing here.
There are a lot of gods with hands and eyes. It's just a thing.
I don't. Yeah. I have
The
no
god of
fucking clue.
Traz? The cult of Traz?
No, that's a leg.
Wait, no, that's a foot.
As you are thinking about this, it immediately jumps to your mind. This is a cult of the Whispered One, the god of undeath, Vecna. A dangerous, dark god. Rarely spoken of, though, on this plane of existence. In fact, very strange. This is why you needed a 20 plus.
Vecna.
Who?
It seems I'm in the right place, after all.
Lir'wen, as you pause at that stairwell, the water elemental is going to turn and bubble at you and say, that is where you will find Shanzazim. Perhaps it can help you. So you hear,
That'll get-
Shanzazim.
That'll get translated.
Yeah.
That's the south door?
The one to the southeast.
The stairwell.
Okay.
What is
After-
Shasazim?
After grabbing the necklace bracelet thing with diamonds, I'm gonna actually just kind of pass it to give it to Rosie.
It means you're
What's
engaged now.
this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have use for it.
She'll put it in a bag.
All right. Where are you headed?
Everyone's gonna head to the Shazam.
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 All right. Taking a step forward.
Imogen will thank the water elementals in Primordial.
Just kill the ones in the robes, and we're good.
Or die trying.
Whatever works. You're not all bad. Some of you are 70% liquid. And then it will dive back into the basin. Lir'wen.
You both speak Primordial. Interesting.
Yeah.
I should
Useful.
learn that.
Very
That is
useful
also
language.
new for Lir'wen.
Yeah. Everyone's like, huh, interesting.
Very useful language when traveling different planes. Quite versatile. You can't have a philosophical discussion or even the talking about the nature of things beyond death and life, but a basic understanding and communication. And sometimes that's all you need to avoid unnecessary conflict.
I just had nothing else to really do for 120 years except listen to the whispers coming from the dark, so, you know. Gotta do something. Go crazy otherwise.
Yeah, I spent an entire decade just learning how to speak Infernal because I was bored. Just in a cottage.
I'll say in Infernal, it's a very particular and fine language to learn.
Yes, I found it quite a change from Goblin and similarities with Draconic.
I'll switch to Goblin and say I've never really found too much use for Draconic or time to learn that one myself, but Goblin can speak. And instead of Draconic, however, I picked up, and I'll switch over to Deep Speech.
Oh, I do not know that.
Oh.
Then Lir'wen will switch to Orcish. See if he picks up on Orcish.
Imogen goes to the stairwell. Just like, she's like, I don't know.
All right. Do you push open the door?
Yep.
You are a cunning linguist, Gaunt.
Pushing
Hey.
open the door, you are going to find a room in front of you, Imogen, that is absolutely a mess. Rubble chokes the southeast portion of this room, leaving only a small gap. And near the uneven ceiling, some of the rubble has been reassembled into a low table, which bears small clockwork components. As you look around the room, you're going to see that a hulking, fish-headed creature is sitting at the table, wearing an exquisite silk finery about itself, and is carefully examining tiny parts with a little monocle, like a jeweler's monocle.
Rosie, I think I found you a friend.
What's that?
And who might you
Come
be?
down here. I'm Imogen. The water told us to come say hi. But I think you might prefer talking to Rosie. Yeah.
Are you with the Waterclock Guild?
No.
Do you need us to be?
Yeah, I don't know what she is, but
It will sigh and take off its monocle and turn around to look at you.
Yes, yes, yes. So I imagine that you are not here for a kerfuffle.
Well, I never turned down a good explosion. But we're investigating kidnappings. And yeah.
Kidnappings.
There was a bunch of whites out in the hall that
Yes.
seemed to be involved in it. That sounds like a cult, maybe, so...
Yes, the Waterclock Guild. They are still here, are they not? Working in the depths.
I have no idea. Fortunately, I've never been here before.
I see. Well, I overheard you in the hallway saying that you had taken generations to learn the languages.
Me?
Myself...
No, I just took a semester. I think that may have been Lir'wen.
Ah, an educated one. Good to know. I have been here for many, many generations of your people. I was summoned by the Waterclock Guild to manage their affairs and to Well, I'm married. After all, I control water. They needed my expertise. Of course, now I'm stuck here, but at least I have these delightful clocks to reassemble. I should have this one
lovely.
done. Yes, the most intricate one of the Water Clock Guild. I've reassembled it 17 times.
Oh.
Each time took a mere 6 years.
That's not bad.
Interesting.
Yes.
So you're stuck here?
I was bound to this location, yes, for as
That's
long
nice.
as the Water Clock Guild remains. And you say
Do
there is
you
still...
want to leave?
No, it's the cult of Vecna now.
What, did someone else take over their lease?
Maybe.
What do you want?
Want to free you.
Well, like, we're hired to go figure out the kidnappings, but if we can do somebody a good turn at the same time, I'm not averse.
As much as I do enjoy the work of assembling these clocks, I don't like the way this cult behaves. You're not with them?
Are
I
we
don't
wearing
think so.
matching
Pretty
robes?
sure I never signed up for
I
a
didn't
cult.
sign up.
Do you
I'm
count
going
grad
to kill
school as a
them.
cult?
Yes,
All
but a
of them.
different cult.
I think I started
Fair.
a cult 300
It's
years
more
ago.
like
But
a pyramid scheme. You pay to join.
Yes. Well, if you are not with the cult, I do not like the way that they treat my brethren, the elementals. They bully them.
Oh, that's rude.
So we've heard.
However, well,
We will
You're
put
saying-
that to an end.
you're saying that the Water Clock Guild is no more?
yes. So
So
you're
I can
no
just
longer-
Click on-
You can
leave.
leave. Yeah.
If I may ask, how long could I have left? That
Well,
long,
who can
eh?
really say when a cult actually ends if it's still known about?
Bollocks. All right, well, I shall be off then. As much fun as it has been reassembling these devices. For your service. Here.
And he will lean over and sort through some of the different gears and dials and doodads and gewgaws on the desk. And will pick up a golden flywheel from the disassembled clock.
This. It's not part of the clock that I've been trying to assemble, but it is gold and appears to perhaps have some good luck about it.
And he will slimily hand it to you.
What was he again?
A Merid. He is
Merid.
basically a water djinn. So he is a water elemental from the plane of water. Christine, you all fought one of these in Dragonlance outside of the Temple of Paladine.
Right.
And he is
It was
adorable.
banished.
Did he get banished here?
Forever. He is going to kind of look around the room and say,
Well, it's none of my business, really. But were you to, use the pipes to maximize the pressure in the room to the north and in the room to the west. You might, unfortunately, how to put this?
Drown some cultists?
Yes, might be
Oh,
useful
then.
for you. Although
Rosie's
they-
gonna dance back off to the room with the
Rosie,
bicycle.
wait. Rosie, wait. We don't know where the hostages are.
Yes.
How about we save them?
Also,
Then you can drown them.
But they'll leave the room then, because they'll be expecting it.
we should try and save them for interrogation. You are all very okay with taking lives, so
If the cult of Vecna is involved, I will kill them.
I mean, they're kidnappers, they're cultists, they're harassing water elementals,
And we're getting
and they
paid
seem
to
to be
do
like
it.
raising whites. Like, I
They
don't
might
know.
have had
I feel like
to.
that's really justified.
They might have had a chance to live before they chose the eye and the hand.
Well, at the very least, take with you whatever they put in the bottom room to the south there. It's been making terrible noise at night. It's impossible to get any work done. Then again, I suppose it's no longer my problem.
Nope. Enjoy your life.
I shall. Best of luck to you in your endeavors, please. And, my good elf, don't judge them too harshly for a little casual murder. They're just fanatics, after all.
And it will pop out of existence, returning to the plane of water.
Should we go see the room to the south?
Sure.
Heading down into that room, you're going to take a look at the door to the south. A fresh, newly purchased padlock bars the outside. It's sturdy, new, and quite intricate. Does anybody want to try to pick it or break it down?
Unless somebody moves to or goes to lockpick it, I'm just gonna hit it with my sunblade.
Yes, you may. Please make me an attack roll.
Cool.
I mean, I think Rosie's gonna actually be pretty interested in examining the dude's clock bench.
I just crit on the door.
All right. The door is going to just evaporate as the sun blade cuts through it. Across the room, Rosie, you're going to see there's all sorts of intricate clock pieces. Who took the cog or the flywheel? As you're holding it, it's going to kind of buzz in your hand a tiny bit. There's something about this that's giving you the tingles.
Magic tingles.
You hope so. But beyond that, aside from a few tools you could pilfer, there's not much else in this room worth keeping. However, you're going to hear a and then the sound of two heavy pieces of door collapsing and a length of chain hitting the floor. There is a small room on the other side. Water leaks down the walls of this cell and pools on the floor near a rusty drain. A dejected, and now very, very frightened, gnome sits on a sodden mattress in one corner.
Please, I'm not here for any trouble. Please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me, please. I know nothing about Vecna.
Neither do I.
What?
Hi.
You're not a cultist?
Nope. Who's Vecna?
And I think that's where we're going to call game for the night.
Woo! Stinger. Yeah.
Stinger. We couldn't have had a better line than that. Beautiful. All right. So, who's Vecna? All right. So, folks, that is going to be episode 1 of Vecna, Eve of Ruin, also known as Who's Vecna? Who's that Vecna? Thanks for tuning in. What do you guys think of episode 1?
I think Vecna's
Yeah.
the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I missed that. Well, Lost in the Void for 120 years. So
Right.
Yeah, you got to catch
Yeah.
up on your Netflix queue.
I really do. Yeah, but I can't stand it in long enough to do that.
This is really true. And like the problem is that like when you went in, they still like mailed DVDs to your house.
Right? So strange.
Nice.
No, this is good. This is fun. I'm enjoying figuring out these characters, and I'm sorry for Lir'wen and her being good.
Y'all are insane. And Lir'wen's just like, what the fuck? I used to travel with heroes? Definitely not heroes right now.
Well, I
Right.
think like Rosie's thought is just like, well, we could go down and fight them, all fair and all, and get hurt and maybe die, or we could just kill them.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things
But
where
that allows people to, surrender that are maybe like been somewhat not like mind controlled necessarily, but like you know how cults are when they get you.
I think we're gonna have to
doesn't-
see
that-
the cult before we make our decision, right? Like let's
Yeah.
let's meet the cult, and then
Yeah,
and then it's
before
like,
if they're sacrificing someone on the table, then yeah, let's fucking kill them all. But
Why
if
would they
they're
do
just kind
that?
of trying to,
I'm sorry, Gaunt has a history with the cult of
Oh, yeah.
Vecna. So
just
And
several times over.
and
Lir'wen's
Imogen has changed.
yeah.
And I think
No,
Rosie
Lir'wen is
has
very
a
much
history
free win.
of like having to deal with stuff by herself. So she's like, yeah, that's too much to deal with by myself unless I even the odds.
Basically, we're all people who have to now figure out how to be a party together.
right? I like it. I like your character so far.
It's
I think
good.
it's very interesting. I like you guys more than I like the module, so this is gonna be fun. But you know what else is going to be fun? It's going to be fun to see you again next Friday for another episode of Vecna, Eve of Ruin. Folks, thanks for coming out and enjoying episode 1 with us. I hope you enjoyed it at least. I enjoyed it, and I like these characters a lot. I look forward to getting to know them. We're going to be back on Sunday day with the return of our homebrew Greco-Roman game, a Greco-Roman inspired game. Dreams of Arcos. And then if you're on our Patreon at the $5 tier or higher, we are going to be back with Mage the Ascension Technocracy Zero Sum, which is the game that Jen runs, on Sunday at 6 p.m. Then we're back with Fandelver on Monday and our normal schedule accordingly. So, in fact, I think we're running most of next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you come back and enjoy with us. And hey, if you want to help support the channel, please consider joining the Patreon. At $5, you get a bunch of additional content every month, including like an Aliens game. You get, depending on whether or not we have time to film that month, Hunter the Vigil. You get the Radiant Citadel is back in June. And just like it goes between like 3 and 9 additional games a month that you get to see months before everybody else. It is a phenomenal way to support the channel and to get additional content. And at the $10 tier, you're going to get a bunch of extra stuff like the tables before everybody else. Yeah, and you get them free. Also, you get your name read out at the end of the episode if you're a super fancy dancy patron, like my mom. Hi, Mom, you're a divine producer. Also, our demonic producers, which are growing in scale, which are Precarious, Mysterium MK, and Sorcerer Sanguine, who is now a demonic presence. Our wizards of the Patreon are Tammy the Forever Cleric and Ink Goblin. Soul Omen is the Monster Maker, and our High Council, which are not a cult of Vecna by any means, are Terran, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Chef Ella Death, Chef Ella Undeath? No. Larouk, Mike Baxter, Kelowna Curd, Iridian, Brian Kaler, and Nerdy Metal Gent. You guys are all amazing. We'll be back with episode 2 here in 1 week, and I can't wait to tell you who Vecna is. Good night, everybody.